Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. It was a brutal Monday for the Blue Jackets. CBJ lost Kirill Marchenko at morning skate with an upper body injury. And Zach Werenski and Matthew Olivier exited last night's game in Washington as the Capitals crushed the Blue Jackets 5-1. Z and Olivier have upper body injuries that head coach Steve Evison said he doesn't feel great about. No word on Marchenko's status either. The Blue Jackets are back on home ice tomorrow night against the Toronto Maple Leafs. In the NFL last night, the 49ers beat the Panthers 20-9. San Francisco's 8-4 on the season. They'll play in Cleveland Sunday against the Browns. On Monday, Kevin Stefanski named Shedeur Sanders the starting quarterback for that game Sunday at 1. And in college football, Jeremiah Smith says he's playing Saturday as number 1 Ohio State battles number 18 Michigan at noon. OSU's Ryan Day is going to speak with the media at noon today. This update sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're strung and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3, loaded up as only the game week would demand. 9:30, Joshua Perry going to stop by. 10 o'clock, we hit you with the real truth. Is this the best football weekend of the year? Uncle Dom stops by at 10:30. 11 o'clock, we blitz the NFL, which was pretty crazy over the course of the past weekend. 11:30, our first trip behind enemy lines of the week. Angelique Chengelis of the Detroit News will join us coming up at 11:30 for a temperature taking up in Ann Arbor. I was thinking about kind of the stories that are boiling over this week. And one of the things that I don't know how many text messages you've gotten or how many text messages you and your friends have shared. Who's going to play at wide receiver at Ohio State? I got hit with 6 or 7 of these last night. Okay, but what's really going to happen? Are they really going to play? The reality is only they know, and we'll get to some of that in just a second because they spoke yesterday. So we'll get to that in just a second. But I was thinking at what is at stake for a player of Jeremiah Smith's abilities in a game like this, or Carnell Tate's abilities in a game like this. And all that is at stake is college football immortality. That's it. That's the list. A couple of weeks ago, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said, boy, I'd jump on Jeremiah Smith for the Heisman. And at the time, he was 30-1 or 40-1, and it got to 100-1. I'm not even sure what it is right now. But part of the reason that I said to do that is because of what is in front of him the next 2 weeks, provided he is healthy. Jeremiah Smith, if healthy or a certain percentage of healthy, close to 100%, is going to be the best player on the field on Saturday. 2 weeks from now, he'll be the best player on the field against Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. If he plays to that level of talent, there's no question that with those 2 showcase moments, he can steal the Heisman. The Heisman's there to be had. But there's more than that. There is history and putting your fingerprints on the greatest rivalry in all of sport. That's at stake too. And there are certain instances where if I just give you the name of a player, you can immediately go back to it. A couple of these aren't pleasant, but certainly if you're of a certain age, you can recognize that Desmond Howard and Charles Woodson won Heismans and put stamps on Heismans in this game. That if they don't have this game and if they don't have those moments in this game, they do not win the Heisman. Doesn't happen. But then go to a more favorable memory for many of you out there, and there's a bunch in the 2000s. Troy Smith in 2006. Can I interest you in that? In the game of the century, he went 29 of 41 for 316 and 4 scores. He did the bull dance before it started and put an exclamation point on a Heisman in a game that was among the greatest of all time. Now, the rest of these guys didn't win Heismans, but these moments you remember absolutely. Who could ever forget Beanie Wells in 2007 running for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns? And Buckeyes running around with roses in their mouth. Threes and Malcolm and all those guys running around with roses. They thought they were going to the Rose Bowl. Now, football chaos ensued, and they ended up going for the national title. But they don't do it without 222 yards from Beanie Wells up in Ann Arbor. There's more of them, though. Think about 2013. Of course, Tyvus with the game-saving interception at the end. Carlos Hyde ran for 226 yards in that game to cement a perfect regular season. Up until that point, Urban hadn't lost in 2 years at Ohio State. 2015, who can remember Zeke? Post-game, Michigan State, give me the football. Okay, can I interest you in 214 yards and a 42-13 beatdown with 2 scores? There's more of them at the quarterback position. 2018, Dwayne Haskins with probably the most dominant quarterback performance in the history of the game. 396 yards, 6 touchdowns. I think if Urban had it his way, he would have put 2 more on the board in that one in his last game. 2019 had a couple of classic performances. Justin Fields goes 14-25 for 302 and 4 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins in that game, 31 carries, 211 yards, 4 touchdowns. You play in this game, you win this game, you have moments. And historically, going back only forever, the best players in this game shine brightest. And the memory that goes with that will only last forever. So this has been swirling around us. It's been a cloud. And I think it still is. We'll hear from Ryan, of course, in his press conference today. I don't know if you're ever going to get complete clarity on this. But this is as close as you're going to get. This is the Down to Business podcast. Caleb Downs hosting it. He had Jeremiah Smith on. He asked him, are you playing Saturday? Here's the answer.
First things first. It's on everybody's mind. You know the question. How we doing? How we feeling? How we doing?
I'm feeling good. Dealing with a little situation, injury-wise, but I should be good to go Saturday.
That's as close as you're going to get on that. Ryan was on Roundtable and was asked about Jeremiah and Carnell. Here was his answer.
They are. They're going to continue to get some rest tonight. Had a good day of rehab, and so we'll wake up in the morning and see how they're doing. But nobody wants to play more than those 2 guys.
So there you go. We've got, today is Tuesday. We've got till Saturday to get them right, or as close to as right as can be. I'm sure both of them want to play in the worst way. And if you think about the great players who have ever played here, the great players who have ever played up there, they have left an imprint in this one.
Certainly Carnell, because you're not going to get another opportunity at these guys.
No.
And him, along with the 16 seniors and other juniors that were honored last week, the final walk out of the shoe, this is it. Mm-hmm. And unless you want to, come back next year. Carson Hinsman had some comments, and he did not walk out on Saturday. So maybe there's a chance, but yeah, you'd think for Carnell, this is the last opportunity, and then you're off to the NFL. Certainly for Jeremiah, it was funny, Ryan was asked by the guys, are Smith and Tate trending in the right direction? He says they are. Okay. This whole thing's not great because of all the asks from Big State U of the fan base, and then to kind of keep it so under lock and key like they have been. Like, I think just an injury designation would maybe help this, other than they're trending or they're working. Nobody wants. Yeah. We get that.
A lot of ambiguity.
We know that Jeremiah and Carnell want to be out there. That's grass is green, water is wet. For those wondering, Jeremiah Smith right now plus 20,000 in the Heisman odds on FanDuel. He's behind Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker of Texas Tech, Gunnar Stockton, Marcel Reed, Diego Pavia, Jeremiah Love, Julian Sainz second plus 400. Fernando Mendoza minus 125. Just interesting how he didn't play last week. Mm-hmm. He still maintains the top spot, but good for Julian to have a pretty good performance against Rutgers that nobody watched and still kind of maintain his spot at second.
What a time we live in, right? Where the best player in college football is being asked by the best defensive player in college football on his own podcast the week they have their biggest game of the year about his health for said game. I texted that to you guys last night, and I was like, I wonder what Ryan thinks about this. And Bo, you're like, well, what's he going to do? Because if Jeremiah is healthy enough to go, he's going regardless. So it's just what a great time we live in. And Bo, you talk about those moments in the game. And for someone who has grown up here or someone who has covered it for so long like you, there are so many of those moments in good and bad from this game. Sure. You mentioned them, like Charles Woodson with the rose in his mouth, and Desmond Howard with the pose, and Tim Biakabatuka just carving through the Ohio State defense. But then there's the moments we talked about yesterday, like Zach Boren standing over the quarterback, Curtis Samuel jumping into the end zone with the arms wide out. And I think the biggest travesty of last year's game is the moment that Jack Sawyer had that got overshadowed by them losing and then everything coming. And it's almost like one of those where karma in the football gods recognize and they know, and Jack got the scoop and Sawyer, obviously in the Texas game. But that play that Jack Sawyer made might have been better than the one he made in the Texas game. And nobody really remembers it because of what happened after.
Winners write the history.
It's true.
You know, that's the part of it. You have to win those games in order to have your fingerprints all over it. And that's what's at stake for these guys. I mean, these are some of these guys we're talking about, like Caleb Jeremiah, like these are all-time Buckeyes. Caleb Downs is going to be a 2-time consensus first-team All-American. That's a short list. That's a short list, even at a place like Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith has got a chance, and he's going to need the next couple of games to play, but he's got a chance to be a 3-time first-team consensus All-American. That's what he's got a chance to do, to be a 3-time first-team All-American. Only 3s is that in the history of the program. Only 3s. So those are the things that are in play here. And I think you have to remember that. I can't imagine how hard it is. I mean, you mentioned how different this sport is. These guys are multimillionaires. They're doing their own podcasts. They're breaking their own news. How do you coach them? Nobody knows. But this part of history survives all of that, and it thrives through it. No one's going to think about any of that by the time it comes to history being told on this series. And that is a history that goes back 120 times they've played, 121 on Saturday. That ain't going anywhere. No matter NIL, no matter anything that happens from here on out. This game matters. It matters forever. You have these moments that last a lifetime if you are a player that gets to have one of them. You're going to hear from Ryan Day. We are inching closer to the game. You'll hear from him coming up next. We're off and running on a Tuesday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
It's Happy Honda Days and Black Friday savings together at Germain Honda of Dublin. Strike now because through December 1st, get 0% APR up to 60 months on new Hondas. And you're even going to get 90 days until your first payment on both new and used vehicles. Rich has hundreds of vehicles in stock. The selection has never been better. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road just south of 270. In-stock units only, not valid on prior sales. With approved credit, must qualify through primary lender. See dealer for details.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine. Give me a tune. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a beauty crashing mountain dew. So give me my good friends. Give me a tune.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Back for a limited time, the French dip from Firehouse Subs. Piled high with premium roast beef, caramelized onions, and melty provolone cheese on a freshly toasted garlic butter roll. Served with warm, savory au jus for dipping. This premium French dip is only at Firehouse Subs for a limited time. Head to your nearest Firehouse Subs or order ahead and skip the line. And remember, Firehouse Subs catering is perfect to feed the whole crew on game day. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
But I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary. Ends 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
Oh, this week it's Rivalry Week, or as we like to call it, Beat Michigan Week, or Try Not to Get Pepper Sprayed Week. Rivalry Week sounds better. Let's go with that.
Rivalry Week on the Fan is sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Ryan Day's proven he has what it takes to win a natty, but can he take control of the biggest rivalry in sports? Will Julian Sayin or Jeremiah Smith have a Heisman moment? Will the fan staff consume 500 wings in a single setting? Let's find out together. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Give the gift everyone wants. Fun in your own game room. Billiards Plus has gifts for everyone. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, card tables, grills, and more. With professional delivery and installation, you'll beat the last-minute scramble. Reserve yours now. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hi, the Scott Antique Markets are back again at the Ohio Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. The market is one weekend monthly, November through March. Build your family heirlooms. You can find everything that gets old. Just take I-71 to exit 111 to enjoy America's favorite treasure hunt. Visit thescottantiquemarket.com for more information. Come join us at the Ohio Expo Center for the Scott Antique Markets. It's huge. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're tracking the rain to continue here through most of your Tuesday with high temperatures into the upper 50s this afternoon. Rain showers may linger into early tonight with rainfall amounts totaling over 1/4 inch here for several locations. Now, temperatures will stay into the 50s here for tonight into early Wednesday morning, but a cold front is on the way, and that's going to knock down our temperatures to the 30s here by the evening. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
It's Rivalry Week, and dare I say the most rivalist one ever. Me Talk Pretty.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
Yeah, it's funny. I was looking up all of those, a lot of the games over the last 25 years or so in the series, and it's amazing how many 200-yard individual rushing performances that have been had from this side and theirs, unfortunately, in recent years. But, I mean, my goodness, Carlos did it, J.K. did it, Beanie did it, Zeke did it. It's like 4 different running backs that had been over 200 yards rushing, and they're catalysts for the game. They're catalysts for victory, and it's always a big part of it. I mean, this is one where the elements certainly can come into play. I haven't even dared to look for Ann Arbor Saturday in terms of what we're looking for. I know we're headed into a cold snap, but is it snow and wet? Is it just cold? What do you got for me, Reese?
It'll be cold. So at kickoff, you're looking 29, 30 degrees. Light snow showers in the forecast Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's raining in Ann Arbor today.
Yeah. So they're turf now, right? They were natural grass for a long time, but I think they're turf now. So you shouldn't have anything from a field condition that'll impact. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a first for a lot of our guys. You know, the way that this fall worked out, and it was damn near perfect for high school football on a Friday night. It was damn near perfect for the Buckeyes. I mean, look at our game against UCLA a couple of weeks ago. It was like 60 degrees. So we haven't had yet a true game like this, a cold weather game. And this might be the only one you have all year. Is this game up there? The good news is the way that this run game has been going along, I think you're going to be more than fine. And the way that Julian throws it, the way it's out of his hands so quickly, it's almost an extension of the run game. Here's Ryan Day. This is from Roundtable last night, speaking on the run game and how it's improved as the year's gone along.
Yeah, you're seeing guys certainly play physical. The runs are fitting up better. Guys are making guys miss. And then we need everybody involved. I mean, if we're going to have explosive runs, then we certainly need to get to the second level. But then the guys there need to do a good job of making blocks on the second level and making guys miss, like I said. So, that's been good. I felt all along the more our young running backs carry the ball, the better they're going to get. Yeah, I think there's still a lot of football for them to learn, but they're certainly getting better each week and have really had a growth mindset on it. And they need to be at their best this week. And then it all starts right out of the gate with ball security. Everyone's got to take care of the ball in this game.
I'm glad he put that at the end because all I was thinking about with Bo and also CJ was putting the ball on the ground in the month of November. You can't have that in the red zone or certainly right before half, as has happened against Penn State. The flip side of it is going to be the key too, because if you've watched Michigan play this year, and we'll get into this breakdown more specifically by the time we get to Friday and even a little bit tomorrow, but kind of one big overarching themes is they don't chase very well because they don't throw it very well. So if they get out ahead, they can be in control. But as of we stand right now, they're talking for sure at best their second string running back. At worst, maybe their third. So if you stop that run and make them one-dimensional, that's a big key. Here's Ryan on that.
Yeah, it's all leading up to the end of the season here. We know that's going to be important here this week. It's been obviously a focal point week in and week out, making sure that we stop the run. And we know that this is going to be a huge part of their game plan. And so everything that we've been working on and talking about really since preseason camp has been built around that and this. So guys have really embraced that. They've worked hard on it, and they're looking forward to having a great week of preparation.
There's always and I think sometimes this gets in coaches' minds, right? Like, we've got to be physical to do this. And I think in the last couple of years that maybe Ohio State's fell victim to that. Like, we're going to win in the run game because if you don't do that, you can't win the game. As we've said all year, this is a little bit of a different team. And especially if 4-17 are full go, let the football Ferrari eat is kind of my view of that. And then the run game can come off of it. Go ahead, Vic.
I feel like stopping the run for them is definitely a thing because I don't think they can beat you with the pass, quite frankly. I don't know how many teams can beat Ohio State with the pass. So I do think the stopping the run is key. I just don't think Ohio State has to run the ball for big numbers in this game to win because they're so good in that short passing game. I think they can use that as their running game, and I think they'll be just fine. Now, you do have to run the ball some, right? You have to keep them honest, but I don't think if Ohio State goes into this game with the mindset it seems like they had last year where we have got to win the running game and dictate and win this game with the physicality, I think that's going to be very misguided.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think running at Mason Graham all day is probably not going to be the answer like they did a year ago. So, yeah, I don't think you need to do that at all, Reese. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think you have to let the game come to you. I don't think you have you obviously plan the game before you get there. You'll obviously wake up, stretch, you'll go out and do your pregame warm-ups. But then I think you take into account everything as soon as the game kicks, then you kind of see what you've got. This can't be we're going to win the rushing attack or we're going to throw it all over the place. It's you have a football Ferrari and you can attack this team in so many different ways. You also know you've got a defense that can put you in great positions to where you don't have to worry about if you get who gets the ball first. I definitely think this game is you kind of see day of exactly where you're going to be going with this. Obviously, you'll have the week preparation. You'll have what you think you'll be able to attack them with, but this is so much different in that you don't want to go in with any preconceived notions that we're going to be more physical than them. You hope, sure. You play, you play how I think the game comes to you.
It's not necessary, though, to try to have that mindset, I don't think. I mean, if you think about the loss, for example, they had against USC, like Maeva threw it all over them. Like it's out there to be had. And Maeva ain't saying, and they don't have receivers like we do, especially if they're both full go. So that's kind of the thing that I keep coming back to is like, that's who you are. Like, go be who you are in this game, and you're going to be more than fine. Ryan's coached in a lot of these games. He's well aware of everything that's at stake this week. The fellas asked him what he's learned about the game during his time at Ohio State. Here's his answer.
I've learned a lot, and this is really 9 years now, being at Ohio State. And, you learn every year. You learn about your team. You learn, about the season. And, each game is different. The dynamics are different. The team is different. The situation is different. But then there are some similarities. And so I know one thing's for sure, we're going to do everything we can to keep our routine the same and keep the focus on the game and everybody doing their job. And that's it. There's going to be obviously a lot of emotion that goes into this game because of what it means to all of us, but we're going to make sure that we stay locked in and don't get distracted.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they've been preparing for this thing for a month with what they've done on Saturdays. And I'm sure to a man, if you go up there to the Woody and ask them, they just want to get to Saturday. Like, the preparation is done. Just get to Saturday, get to the game. And I think they're prepared for it. I think the defense is certainly ready to go. And I think they know who they are offensively. And I think most of what they've done this last month was the idea of, hey, these are 3 straight games that we're favored by 30 or more. We don't have to show everything. For example, I don't think they've shown everything even close that they're capable of in the red zone. Not close. I think we've run one slant to Jeremiah in the red zone all year, and it was at Illinois. I think that's the only one I can remember running. To me, that seems unstoppable. So I think there's going to be a lot on display Saturday that Michigan hasn't seen before.
Yeah, I also think that with your defense, you've probably saved a couple of things, knowing that you could have kept it, and you did keep it, simple for most of the last month.
Yeah.
Probably even further than that. I do wonder, and you'll never hear this from the coaches, just how extra spicy practice has been, or practice is going to be this week. Because you remember he talked in the offseason about how he's had to break up more fights in training camp than he's had to ever. And I wonder, and I think that that's part of this, that's part of the pressure that comes with not having beaten Michigan, but also the pressure that comes with being the defending national champions. And I think just having so many dogs on last year's team that it kind of trickled into the guys this year and gave for an extra spicy training camp, gave for some spicier practices this week. But it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday can't be 11s and then expect to go out there and act accordingly on a Saturday. It's got to be like an 8, a 9, a 10, and then you pick up to an 11 on game day. And so that I'm interested to see, and I don't know, you'll hear anything about it. Ryan Day will speak today. He'll have his Ryan Day radio show tomorrow at noon, just what these practices have been like for this.
Yeah, and I think probably and we'll have Urban on tomorrow at this time, like tomorrow, 24 hours from now, we'll have Urban on. And one of the things he was so good at is creating tension, but not too much that it broke. Like that is the magic of this week, is managing all of that and then having your team be 10 feet tall and bulletproof collectively in Ann Arbor on Saturday. Urban did that all the time. One of the guys who was a part of all of that, of course, is Joshua Perry. He'll join us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Most people will agree with this. Life is a lot better without pain and more comfort. Hey, it's Anthony. I used to buy the over-the-counter insoles thinking that just the cushion itself would solve everything. It didn't. So I finally got serious about support. I went to the Good Feet store where I was personally fitted for arch supports. I started feeling relief, more stability, and stuff stopped aching. My lower back felt better. I don't care whether you're an athlete or you're retired. Get greater comfort and confidence from personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. That's because their arch supports are designed to align your body from the feet up, and they can help provide relief from pain and discomfort like it has for me. They have an expert staff trained to understand your specific needs, and they recommend the best solutions. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store at one of their convenient locations on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City, or, of course, learn more, a lot more, at goodfeet.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Tuesday edition of the program. We had it on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Conversation with our good buddy Joshua Perry, Buckeye Great. And, of course, big college football countdown on NBC. It's awesome seeing him every single Saturday night on the national side of things. Before we get to your personal experiences in the game, I'm curious from your national vantage point here with feet on the ground here in Central Ohio, how have you observed and maybe graded out Ohio State over the last month? And, of course, you guys had the game against UCLA when the opponent was so outmatched week in and week out.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's probably the biggest criticism from anybody nationally is like, oh, they haven't played a very difficult schedule. But then you ask the people, okay, but, like, what are your concerns with Ohio State? And everybody's like, yeah, I think they're pretty good. Like, concerned that their wide receivers are banged up, certainly, but that's probably it. Me as somebody who looks at this team probably a little bit closer than most national people, I think we all see it here is like the offensive line needs to have a little bit better consistency and maybe build some push. But quarterback playing out of his mind. You mentioned the wide receivers, the tight ends, the tight ends deep. The defense is unlike anything that we've seen in quite a while. And so this is going to be the test. What we see up in Ann Arbor, I think, is going to be confirmation for a lot of people of what they believe about this team. And if they don't win, it's not going to be, dire, but I think it's going to sound off maybe some questions. But, like, this is the test where we find out what Ohio State actually is.
Yeah, it's such a tricky spot because, as you so astutely just pointed out there, like defensively, they got a chance to go down as one of the greatest defenses in the history of the sport, but with what they've done to this point. And then offensively, they can throw it with anybody. But typically in this game, and I think this is something that comes home to roost a little bit, it really comes down to the physicality. And it looks like we're going to have cold weather, but at the same time, you don't want that to be too much of your emphasis, right? So you have to be able to thread that needle if you're Coach Day in terms of who you are as a football program versus who you want to be on Saturday. How does he balance that this week?
Okay, so, I've seen all the Michigan people on Twitter, and they're like, oh, it's supposed to be 30 degrees and snowing. And, like, I watched what Ohio State did in December in the shoe against Tennessee. It didn't matter that it was cold. They threw the ball all over the place. And I think that's kind of the proof of concept for Ohio State and anybody who's watching this team where it's like, well, how are they going to perform in the cold? I watched them do that. I watched them do it less than a year ago. So that's number one. Number two, when you look at these teams, right, like Michigan's strength is still going to be in the trenches, both offensively and defensively. They're like in the 50s nationally in pass defense, right? So if there is an advantage, it's what Ohio State does with their throw game versus the Michigan pass D. So you don't get tricked into this, whoever wins the rushing battle is going to win the game. I think they fell for the trap a little bit last year, and Ryan Day has been, very open about some of the missteps that he's had over his years as a coach, including that game. And so I don't think they're going to fall into that trap. So you play the game that comes to you. And that means if there are shots downfield, you take the shots downfield. The weather doesn't matter. This whole idea of winning the rushing battle doesn't matter. And then defensively, you stop their run game. And that includes their running back room, which is banged up, but it's also deep. And those guys continue to roll an offensive line that's young, but it's really improved from where it started. But it also means a quarterback who's big and who can run. And if you can get a couple hits on him, you probably feel a little bit better about how the game's going too. So it's this blend, and it's what we've seen from Ohio State. It's what we saw in the playoff run that made them great. They can be the team that can be the hammer and bring the physicality, but you also got to know who you are, which is a really athletic team that can take the top off, that can suffocate you on defense, and you got to bring that and the physicality.
What has it been like for you watching what Matt Patricia has done with this defensive talent, especially those two linebackers?
It's been insane. It's wild because my biggest concern with Matt Patricia coming in is this is a guy who has an NFL background, and in the NFL you have all day and all year to install and to coach and to go over corrections when it comes to the defensive system. So he had a complicated defense. And I'm like, how do you communicate that to guys who've got to go to, business calculus class when they're done with practice? Like, how do you figure out how to make sure those guys understand all the checks that go in a defense? It's the trouble with Jim Knowles when he came in. And the thing that I take away is Matt Patricia is an elite teacher outside of just a really good coordinator. He knows how to teach guys. Caleb Downs is a difference maker because of where he lines up. You can put him in the post. You can put him over top of the slot. We have seen him roaming around the line of scrimmage, and offenses have to identify him every single snap. It's the same thing with Arvell Reese. When you have a guy who can play off ball and is really good at that position, but you can also line him up on the edge or you can mug him up in the A gap, and he can be dangerous dropping, rushing, blitzing, whatever the case is. Those two things have given this defense so many ways to go. It's been fun watching Arvell. It's been fun watching Sonny, and I say it all the time. The way those guys play, the athleticism that they have, all the things that they can do, there's not a shot I would have made it onto the field if I was on this team this year. Those guys are too damn good.
I think their linebacker coach says that too, and he was a 3-time consensus first-team All-American. You've seen Michigan a lot too. They're probably the quietest two-loss team in the country, aren't they, Joshua? Like, nobody's talking about them. They got to this point. They're sitting there. They still have a lot to play for, too. Big Ten championship, all that's the playoff, all is on the line for them as well. You've seen them a little bit. How good is this Michigan team we'll see on Saturday?
Yeah, I think they're much better than the start of the year. And part of the reason they've been so quiet is they went on the road, got blown out against Oklahoma, and then went on the road and got blown out against USC, right? Mm-hmm. But they've continued to get better. I think the development of Bryce Underwood has kind of been ahead of the curve for what you would expect for a freshman. His biggest problem is he hasn't figured out how to control his arm yet. He doesn't know how to do the finesse throws and how to layer throws and how to throw with a little bit of touch, but he's got a great fastball, and he's built a connection with Andrew Marsh, freshman wide receiver. That's a wide receiver that's going to play in the NFL, guys. Like, Michigan has found a guy who is a difference maker at the wide receiver position. I mentioned the run game earlier. It's who they want to be. It's what they want to do. They're banged up. Their running back room is banged up, and so I think that kind of affects what you think this team is going to do. Defensively, it's been an interesting evolution for them. I thought Wink Martindale looked a lot like Don Brown at the beginning of this year. He was blitzing, and it just didn't matter. There was no situational awareness to it, and it hurt them. And they started playing a little bit more conservative in terms of the amount of blitzes they've called over the later stretch of the year. And it's allowed their front seven to actually just play, right? Like, those guys can read and react, and they can go. And so they've unleashed them a little bit. So that would be probably the biggest difference on that side of the ball. I think it's an improved team. Like, when you look from the beginning of the year when they went on the road to Oklahoma to now, they certainly look a lot better. The reality of the situation, though, is Ohio State's in a completely different universe as a team than Michigan right now, and that should be the advantage.
Yeah, it should be. The talent to talent. I want to go down memory lane with you, buddy. 2014, how aware were you guys going into that one? What was at stake? Was there, and because now, there's a 12-team playoff, there's all these things. We had a 14 playoff, but I don't know if you guys even really were aware of how it all worked or what went into it, or was that at a point where it was just the game was the Super Bowl?
That was more of what it was for us. I thought that year became really intriguing. Lose to Virginia Tech at home. And then it's kind of like just this build process of, okay, well, now we got to stop talking about the meta and we got to focus on what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. How do we become a better team? And so by the time we got to the Michigan game, it was this idea of one of our goals every single year is to beat our rival. And if we can do that, we're going to be in a Big Ten championship. And Urban always talked about being competitive for championships in November. So I think that was our urgency was number one, like, we're just not going to lose to those guys. But number two, we went to Indy the year before and we lost. And so we wanted to get back there and be able to finish the year off as Big Ten champions. This idea of the college football playoff and what was at stake there, we had no clue. It was the first year. We didn't know what the committee was going to do. We had Baylor and TCU in our way when we were heading into conference championship weekend. I don't even remember what it was heading into the Michigan game. So for us, it was a very small scope of how we were going to grade success for that year. And part of it was we had to beat our rival because we didn't know what else was going to be out there for us. Different world right now. Don't necessarily love it with the 12 team. I feel like that's a different conversation for a different day, but I think these guys understand the urgency, and it's interesting hearing the players talk about it. They talk about being national champs, which is the most important thing, but also not having the win against Michigan, not having the conference title. They know what they're up against.
15, you took a whole year worth of frustration out on them.
15 was the one for me. That was my favorite matchup. I remember, so we lost on senior day, and it was like, didn't expect to lose that. We thought we were going to be able to repeat as champs, and that kind of knocked us out of it. And on Sunday, we come in to eat, and Urban's sitting there by himself, and he looks like a ghost, right? Like he's pale, he's rubbing his head, like he just doesn't know, how are we going to recover from the loss? He's the worst loser that I've ever met before, which is probably a good quality for a coach. And a few of us just went up to him and we're like, you know what time it is? Like it's Michigan week. Like we got to beat that team up north. And it completely flipped his mentality. And like, that's the medicine, is this week is the medicine, and going out there and beating your rival is the medicine. Even when you're not sick, it's good to get the preventative medicine too. But we went up there. Michigan had Jim Harbaugh in year one. They were a top 10 team. Everybody thought that was going to be the pivot point of the rivalry in that era. And it was 42-13. That game wasn't close, right? And like, we got to celebrate up there. That was my last one. That was the celebration in the locker room I'll never forget. But that's what it's all about. Like it's the thing that makes everything feel right in the universe as a player wearing scarlet and gray.
Buddy, you are beloved here. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your lovely young family, and we're all so proud of all of your success. It's something that anybody who covered you could have predicted, but it's very, very cool nonetheless to flip on national television and see you sitting there. So happy Thanksgiving, buddy. Thanks for your time.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. It's always good to join you. I know we used to do some shows back in the day. Wish we could do this a little bit more, but appreciate your time.
All love, buddy. All love. There he goes, the great Joshua Perry. Big College Countdown on NBC and Peacock. Coming up next, sports last night, including a little bit of not a little bit, potentially a big down night for the Jackets. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity. I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and our Black Friday sales event starts now. Lease a 2026 Toyota Corolla LE for only $199 a month for 39 months, now through December 1st at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Visit our website, TanskySawmillToyota.com, for details. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky. $36.99 to a sighting with approved credit, tax title, and $387 doc fee not included. No security deposit required.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
With business banking, Tel Ohio Credit Union takes it personally. That's why they are the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions. You are a member, not a number. That's the Tel Ohio difference. Visit telohio.org/business.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Give the gift everyone wants. Fun in your own game room. Billiards Plus has gifts for everyone. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, card tables, grills, and more. With professional delivery and installation, you'll beat the last-minute scramble. Reserve yours now. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Looking for Black Friday truck deals? Then head to Germain Toyota. Right now, the savings are straight up and the offers are real. Right now, drive home a 2025 Tacoma with 0% financing up to 48 months with every vehicle sold at MSRP and 20% down. No trade required, or step up to the power of a 2025 or 2026 Tundra. Also 0% financing for up to 72 months. No gimmicks, no games. MSRP pricing and 20% down. No trade needed. 0% Black Friday savings at Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Away game this week, but that just means you can make the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus your home for Saturday football. Join the Fan for the tailgate show and then party with us with the ultimate watch party. We have football contests with amazing prizes. There's wall-to-wall screens, ticket and memorabilia giveaways, and unbeatable game day food. Can't wait to see you at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Saturday. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Connect with the show on X at 971BFS. Jump in our YouTube chat or just send a raven. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Hey, it's your Uncle Bo here, and before you buy a diamond, trust me on this one, go see my friends at Diamond Seller. Not all jewelers are created equal, and for more than 78 years, Diamond Seller has set the standard for craftsmanship, service, and value. Their in-house jewelers and gemologists work together to make sure every single diamond is brilliant as the person you love, all backed by their guaranteed best price. They don't just sell rings, they build relationships that last generations. This holiday season, shop where I shop. Diamond Seller, a jeweler trusted for over 7 decades. Visit diamondseller.com for more. Got to go see my guy Daniel at the Easton location. Got to pick up for the blonde that we got to get all sorted out here before the holiday season. Trust me, she's not listening. Still thinks it's a 2-hour show. All right, Bake, you got a 5-1 loss in Washington. I know you were locked into it, but that's not really the headline, is it, my friend?
No, that Monday sucked. And we talked about it yesterday.
The whole day.
You didn't like the vibe from Jump Street, Bake.
From Jump Street. When I wake up late and realize my phone is just blows up on me.
Oh, you did
complete.
This.
And then Kirill Marchenko gets hurt, and then we get into the game, and Matthew Olivier gets hurt in the corner and didn't even look like anything, and they're saying it's upper body, but to me it looked like he was kind of bent over and favoring his leg and his hip, and then Zach Werenski goes out. I mean, yesterday's Monday can go straight to hell.
Let's get rid of it. Who knows the severity of these injuries? And, of course, with hockey, it's upper body, lower body. Who knows what's going on? Dean Evison, this is post-game, I believe, with they asked about both Zach and Matthew. Here they go.
Nothing, obviously, right now. It's too early. Both obviously left the game, and you guys know both those players, and if they leave the game, then it's not positive, that's for sure. But we'll evaluate, obviously, tomorrow and see where we're at.
What do we credit for this? Because this is league-wide. I mean, wild rash of injuries. It's end of November. We're, kind of at the quarter pole of the season, and we have guys out all over the place. This is NBA, NHL, both. I mean, NBA's this way, too. It's an absolute mash unit.
With the Maple Leafs are in town tomorrow, and they've got maybe a longer injury list.
I think they had 7 regulars out when the Jackets played them last.
Playing the Marlies. I mean, I don't know what to attribute this to.
I kind of feel like, and I could be wrong, I don't know, because supposedly these athletes are in as good a shape as they've ever been. And sometimes I think that's part of the problem. I think sometimes we put too much muscle mass on a body and a frame that maybe shouldn't be there, so we get some of these injuries. I also believe, and I don't believe this was the case with the Jackets, maybe a couple of guys, but I think preseason games matter. I think they help get you ramped up and your body in condition to taking the hits, to taking the physicality. And I think we just poo-poo those now because they don't really mean anything in the standings, but I do think they mean something for your team. I mean, look at Terry McLaurin. He's a guy that's been pretty healthy most of his career. He sits out this whole training camp, and now all of a sudden he's had a quad injury that's been nagging him forever, and he can't get over. I also think something with the NHL to think about is, and the Jackets just went through this, right, with a bunch of games in a short span. Their schedule is compressed because of the Olympic break this year.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And I wonder if that's something some of these teams are going through where they're playing so many games and so many nights, and not just back-to-backs, but the Jackets have had like 3 and 4 and 6 and 9 and things like that. I wonder if these guys just aren't getting enough time to rest in between games.
That's
So
probably
what you just did real quick, what you just did is exactly, I think, the problem. So these athletes never get out of shape. They're always in shape. Like, I see the guys with the Browns, and I'm sure the Blue Jackets are the same way. I'm sure the Cavs are the same way. Hell, I'm sure the Buckeyes are the same way. Like, they don't ever have there is no off season. They work out every day. So if you come into camp in shape, you probably don't need preseason hockey or football because you're just adding to it. And ligaments are finite. They're finite. You can't do anything about them. So whether you add muscle mass to them or add quick twitch, which is, I think, the real problem, is you continue to build that quick twitch, the ligaments can only handle so much. So it's almost like we have to decide, what do we want? Do we want to get rid of preseason sports altogether and have the regular season kind of be preseason for the first 10 games? Because you don't need to get in shape anymore. In the old days, you're on the beer can tour in the summer if you're a football player. You're playing. I remember Doug Deacon with the Browns, legendary voice of the Browns. They would play a Browns team together. They go to play the Canton Sheriffs, the Massillon Police. They go play those guys. And that was what they did in the offseason. Nowadays, they train year round, Reese.
Well, I remember back in 2021, I think it was, Phil Kessel had the Ironman record, over almost 1,100 straight games. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't the picture of health necessarily.
Not quick twitch muscle.
I always just think about when these guys, because they're in such good shape, to Baker's point, they're training all the time, to your point, and I go, well, Phil Kessel was an Ironman, and that guy was just pretty doughy. But in all seriousness, I do think there's the league as a whole, I think, is still trying to figure this out. More condensed season with more travel dates, with just more, while not giving. Right, they're just adding more, and to the point about preseason games, they're not giving any of those up. And it's let's maybe start to dial those back, especially in years that you're going to be asking for more early, so that you can break for the Olympics. Because while that break will be nice for the players, who aren't going to be representing their countries, a few of them, they're already at that point of the season. Will they make it there in one piece? And what you're seeing now, with what you'll see tomorrow night in the mass units of Toronto and Columbus, I don't know. Because Z feels like an Ironman playing 30 minutes a night, and it's well, how sustainable is this?
Yeah, but these are some of your most important players. So this is going to take you got to be very cautious with this, because you don't want something that is miss a couple of games to turn into a couple of weeks. Monday Night Football last night, I don't know how they did it. I really don't know how they did it. I don't understand how the 49ers did it. I don't know how they beat
Super
that
Bowl
juggernaut.
Champs now?
Hard not to imagine it. I mean, they just beat the best team since the '85 Bears.
It's like beating Brady's Patriots there.
That's right.
Yeah, Bill Walsh and Joe Montana on the field.
I got home from practice last night, and NBC was sitting there watching it, even more than normal, right, because of what's at stake. And if you're just jumping in, so he made some absurd claim about somebody scaling Mount Everest and skiing down it, and I said, that's nonsense. And he goes, want to bet? And I said, yeah, I'll bet you $500. Just throwing the word around. And then sure enough, somebody did. Some idiot with Red Bull skied down Mount Everest. So then he goes, the Panthers are going to make the playoffs. And this is at the time when they were one of the worst teams in football. And I said, all right, double or nothing, because I just wanted out of the 500, right? So then all of a sudden they started winning. And winning. And they, by the way, they can still win the division. They play Tampa Bay twice. So that's where all the Panthers, if you're just joining, that's where the Panthers vitriol comes from. But when I get home from basketball last night, he's locked in watching it. And I go, how's it going? And it was at the time, it was 10-3 at half. I got home at halftime. And he goes, but Brock Purdy has 3 interceptions. And I went, okay, we're fine. We're fine. Go Niners. We're good. If we're up 10-3 and Purdy's thrown 3 picks, we're going to be just fine in the second half of this one. So let's go Niners. Let's take care of business on that. I do think 3 teams in that NFC West are going to end up in the postseason. I think all 3 of them are going to get in. So we'll see where it shakes out. But that was a fun Monday nighter, at least for me, not necessarily for NBC. We get you the real truth coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
It's finally here. Rivalry Week.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
We're talking about the Buckeyes and meat chicken all damn week. Join us, The Fan.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hi, this is Max with Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Winter will be here before you know it, and that means it's time to get your heating and plumbing systems maintained. Our True Comfort membership is designed to keep things in tip-top shape. Thank you for letting us keep your home comfortable and plumbing worry-free. And when you need us,
call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
it's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
You don't have to wait for Black Friday to get good deals at Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Shop early anytime this week and save on remote starters to warm yourself up, window tint to add style and privacy, and all things car audio to make your ride louder and better than the rest. Plus, check out deals on dash cams, Apple CarPlay, paint protection film, and more. Shop for yourself or everyone on your list at Columbus Car Audio and Accessories Black Friday sale. Going on now. Morse Road near Easton, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or online at columbuscaraudio.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort. Trade in your bad feet for good feet.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you picked match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports skidball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine. Give me a tune. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good friends. Give me a tune.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew. Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You know, life sometimes is about being in the right place at the right time. For example, maybe you're a huge Buckeye fan. You want to go to a Buckeye game. You want to get tickets, but you know they're tough to get. Maybe you also need new windows for your house. Maybe you sit next to them and you feel that cold, drafty air coming in. You say, oh, if only there was a way I could address both of these concerns at the same time. Well, good news. With Window Nation's end-of-year sale this November, you could save big on windows that fix that draftiness issue. You'll save 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. You're saying, T-Bone, I also said I wanted to go to a Buckeye game. Well, good news. Window Nation is a proud partner of Ohio State Athletics. And right now, when you upgrade your home with Window Nation windows, you could get 2 tickets to an upcoming Ohio State game. See? Right place, right time. WindowNation.com is where you go to get started today. 50% off all window styles plus 0% financing for 5 years this month from Window Nation. Schedule your free estimate today. WindowNation.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1 Ohio State's at number 18 Michigan Saturday at noon in the 121st edition of The Game. Buckeyes are 9.5-point favorites. Jeremiah Smith says he's good to go. Ryan Day says Smith and Carnell Tate are trending in the right direction to play Saturday. Hear more from OSU's head coach today at noon for his rivalry week press conference. The 4th set of playoff rankings will be out tonight at 7 o'clock. In college hoops, Ohio State's back at the Shot Tuesday, hosting Mount St. Mary's at 6:30. Brandon Beam will gently warm you up at 5:30. And in soccer, Wilfried Nancy is likely headed to Scotland to become the new manager for Scottish Premier Club Celtic FC. The crew have also announced that starting in 2026, the Black and Gold will play home games at Scott's Miracle Grove Field. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a Tuesday edition. Uncle Dom coming up in 29 minutes from now. Time now for a little bit of that real truth. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present The Real Truth.
Sponsored by Diamond Cellar. Over 76 years of experience and guaranteed lowest prices on Sawmill Road or diamondcellar.com.
Thanksgiving weekend is the best football weekend. Is that the real truth?
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about it this morning as I was trying to lay out like what I'm going to consume and what I'm interested in. You've got an absolute banger on Thanksgiving Day between Kansas City and Dallas. You've got a really good one NFL-wise on Black Friday as well, isn't it? Is it Bears-Eagles? Friday?
Friday at 3 o'clock, yep.
Yeah, so you got that one, which is very, very good. And then college football-wise, I don't like that it's noon on Friday. Like, to me, the Egg Bowl has to be a night game. It just feels like a night game to me, but it's noon. So that's one that's going to be interesting, not so much for what could happen in the game, but potentially what could be said after it, because that's that domino that could change everything over the next month. And then, can you imagine, by the way, if he loses that? If he loses the Egg Bowl? Are they all like, yeah, we're good, you can stay at Mississippi at that point? And then, which can happen. I mean, it's happened before to him in that game. And then Friday night, you've got Texas A&M, which I can't wait to watch. But all the while, you've got Ohio high school semifinals Friday night, all leading into rivalry Saturday. Yeah, and then an NFL Sunday. I think it is. I think it is the best football weekend of the year because it touches every single sport and every single level of the sport and really at some of the biggest moments. So, yeah, I think it probably is.
I think that for the sheer volume, it probably is. I think another one that's good for the volume, and I wasn't even thinking this one until you went high school football with the state semifinals this weekend. Championship weekend is good. The conference championship weekend, because you have the state championships in high school football as well, plus a full NFL slate. I would also argue quality-wise, maybe the divisional round weekend in the NFL, because you get 4 great games there, and you get the national championship game for college football that Monday night, that weekend. So that's a good one. That would be a pretty good one. But I think for sheer volume and the rivalry factor of things with Ohio State, Michigan, Auburn, Alabama, as you mentioned, the Egg Bowl, all of that, It probably is this Thanksgiving weekend. There's some other good ones, though.
Yeah, this one, you're right. It's the volume that makes it. I mean, it's every level of the sport has touched us this weekend.
4-17, quote, trending in the right direction. Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate will both play Saturday at Michigan. Is that the real truth?
I'm an optimistic man by nature, always glasses half full, with everything, with the possible exception to Christmas music. Yeah, I think they are. I mean, Jeremiah, he said it in his own voice. We heard him say it on Caleb Downs, and I think Carnell's doing everything he can to play. I think the ambiguity around Carnell has been a little bit odd. Like, like something flared up at Purdue, and we haven't seen him in 3 weeks. It's just a strange thing. I'm just going to chalk it up to just an abundance of caution, but I do think both will play Saturday.
I think this is the real truth, and in fact, even before he went on Caleb Downs' Down to Business podcast, I would have guaranteed you that 4 is out there on Saturday. I am less optimistic about 17. Mm-hmm. And it's just as you mentioned, Bo, just the shadiness around it and the quietness around it. Like, even the media that first week didn't ask anything about Carnell Tate. And then, as I said before, Jim Lachey came on Rothman and Ice that Monday and said, well, we realized Carnell wasn't practicing much that week. The TV broadcast had no clue what was going on till the middle of the second quarter that week. So I am 1,000% sure Jeremiah is out there this week. I am less optimistic Carnell is, but I think both of them play.
Ohio State will hold Michigan to 13 points or less. Is that the real truth?
I see what you did there. For the audience, 13 is significant because that is the point scored in their 2 losses. They scored 13 in a loss in Norman against Oklahoma, and they scored 13 in a loss in Los Angeles against USC. Go ahead, Dick.
I also did that because that's how many points Michigan scored last year in the game.
Oh, my God. A triple layer to it. 13-1.
13-1.
God. I do the same thing that I do every single time we pick a Buckeye game on the show, and that is, can I envision this team getting 2 touchdowns? And no, I can't. I can't. Now, if 13 is enough, then shame on us. But I think that we will hold them to 13 or less. I think that's what this defense is all about, and I think that all you have to do is get ahead a little bit. If you make them one-dimensional, it is a long afternoon in Ann Arbor. It's a big task. I get it. Their 2 lines of scrimmage are elite. They're going to be geared up to stop you, obviously in the ground game. But if you just get some points on the board and make that team chase, it's going to become a very long afternoon for them. I know it's easier said than done. I think we will. I think we'll hold them to 13 or less.
So on the season, Ohio State is allowing 7.6 points per game defensively. That's number 1 in the nation by a full 4 points over San Diego State and Indiana. Ohio State has only allowed more than 13 points in 2 games. 16 to Illinois, 14 to Penn State. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's the list. This Michigan offense not averaged a lot of points this year on the season. And I don't believe, and they have shown some signs of life here recently, I just don't see how they do it. I don't see how they can get more than 13 points in this game, especially if their field goal kicker, who was so great last year and has had a little bit of the yips this year, he's missed 6, I believe.
Yeah.
Especially if their field goal kicker can't be relied on. I don't see it. I think Ohio State holds them to 13 or less.
They're a much different team than they were at Oklahoma. They're better, but also they don't have Haynes anymore, and he was pretty dang good in that game in Norman. Recently, I mean, it's hard to know, like, some of these Big Ten teams, guys, it's hard to know, like, what's your motivation at this point in the season. They had a stretch where they played Purdue at home, then they were at Northwestern. They won 21-16 against Purdue at home, and then they won at Northwestern 24-22. Remember, that was a last-second field goal that did it. So they damn near lost at Wrigley against Northwestern before the big win against Maryland. But, yeah, I mean, I think that's what this defense is, and I think that's the thing, if you're Ryan Day, that ought to let you sleep well, if possible, all week, is that defense is going to travel. And honestly, with 0-8, they're almost the perfect kryptonite for Underwood. And then Caleb over the top. Because, as Joshua Perry said, like, he only kind of has one gear, and it's a fastball, and that's a hell of a fastball. It's a Randy Johnson. He will buzz the tower a lot with that arm, Underwood will, but you could also maybe bait him into some stuff. So, yeah, I think this defense travels, and I think that is the real truth.
Bo, you mentioned their loss to Oklahoma. They scored 13. Their loss to USC, they only scored 13. Against Purdue, they only scored 21. They are averaging 29.3 on the year. But in some of their tougher games, haven't been great.
We'll do a fun 2-for-1 real truth to wrap this up. Lane Kiffin will stay at Ole Miss, and Pat Fitzgerald will be introduced as Penn State's head coach. Woo. Is that the real truth? Or are those the real truths?
I think the Kiffin one is, I think he's really wrestling with it. The one thing I will say, and I'll push back on, a lot of people saying, like, if Lane Kiffin is staying at Ole Miss, he's hurting Ole Miss by not coming out and saying it. And I disagree with that. I think there's some 3D chess that could be played if he's staying at Ole Miss. What would harm LSU more than him dragging this out only to stay?
Nothing.
Right? So if it is, I could totally see him stringing them along and then bailing at the last minute to stay at Ole Miss. I've talked to folks on both sides of it. Nobody knows. There's people at Florida that think he's going to Florida. I've talked to folks at LSU that are convinced he's going to LSU. Nobody really knows. He is playing it close to the vest, but just to dispel this notion of, like, well, if he stays at Ole Miss, he should say it right away. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. He strings this along, it helps. I don't know. I think Pat Fitzgerald will do a hell of a job at Penn State, and I do think Penn State has their guy, but I don't think that one's the real truth. I don't think it's Pat Fitzgerald. I think he'll get back into coaching. I could see it in the NFL first, but I don't think it'll be at Penn State.
Yeah, I do not believe this one is the real truth. I could see Lane Kiffin staying at Ole Miss, but I don't think he is. And I definitely don't think Pat Fitzgerald is getting the Penn State job. I think Pat Fitzgerald's a good head football coach, but I think jumping back into Penn State is not what's in the cards for him. I think it's going to be a little lower level school than Penn State. So, yeah, I don't think this is the real truth on either accounts. And supposedly, what is it, Kiffin? The 28th? He's going to say?
Yeah, after the Egg Bowl.
So
then who for Penn State?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I know this. They feel like they have their guy. So we'll give you some thoughts on who that could be coming up next. In addition to that, Joe Burrow with an all-time Instagram post, I do believe. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus. Or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
Save a good deal more with Meijer Black Friday deals every day of the week, November 23rd through the 29th. Kick off your holiday gift shopping in style with shoes for the whole family. Buy one, get one for just $1. Enjoy all your holiday favorites on an Element 65-inch smart TV for only $199.99. And build holiday memories with 30% off select Lego playsets. Plus, Yankee Candle products are buy one, get one for $1. Black Friday deals all week. That's the happy holiday good life at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
But I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary. Ends 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
McRib season is here at McDonald's. Right now, enjoy a McRib and pair it with our world-famous fries and an icy cold Dr. Pepper at participating McDonald's for a limited time.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward, and Thanksgiving is approaching quick. Still plenty of time to get your Awaken 180 consultation on the calendar to receive your $500 off. It's a thank you from Awaken 180. No, you don't need to start the program right before Turkey Day. Simply have your consultation now and be ready to start the Monday after. 4 weeks before the new year, and with results like mine, you could be down 27 pounds on your way to dropping 50. Fast results, and now with $500 off. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the Niners live from the land.
Kickoff comes your way Sunday at 1.
Your radio home of the Browns, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're tracking the rain to continue here through most of your Tuesday with rainfall amounts over a quarter of an inch here for several locations. High temperatures are into the upper 50s this afternoon. As we head into tonight, we're tracking temperatures to stay into the 50s, but a cold front is on the way here tomorrow, and that's going to knock down our temperatures into the 30s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Drop what you're doing unless you're doing nothing, then keep doing that. It's Rivalry Week.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Go Bucks beat Michigan. 10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and we are proudly brought to you, as always, by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 78 years. Reese, so you had asked, who could it be at Penn State? It does seem like there is a lot of momentum nationally for Bob Chesney. He is the head coach at James Madison. They are a team that is still very much in the mix. Young dude, energetic dude. I don't know much about him other than that. The other names that it is interesting how the Penn State job. And you could make an argument, and I'll give you that argument in a second. You could argue that the Penn State job is a better job than LSU or Florida from the standpoint of blue blood program, universally accepted as a top 12 job in the country. You don't have to play Ohio State and Michigan every year thanks to James Franklin, so you have that going for you, which is nice. It's an easier path to a 12-team playoff in part because of that. You have a pretty good place to recruit. To the negatives or the negatives, it's an outpost for sure. But the other thing that you could argue in terms of Penn State being a better job than LSU and Florida is you're going to get some grace at Penn State. They're not running any coach at Penn State in 2 years. This isn't like LSU and Florida where they have a new coach every couple of years. So if you get that Penn State job, you could have it for a while. A guy that, to me, if it's not the guy from James Madison, Bob Chesney, the other one that I kind of thought of would be Drinkwitz. I wondered if Eli Drinkwitz is someone that they've talked about with that job, because he has – it feels like he's hitting his head on the top of the ceiling of what he can do at Missouri. And he's done a great job there. And I know they got stadium renovations, they got all this stuff, and certainly that's probably a part of being something that you've built. But some of these are some big-time Cadillac jobs. And I am a little surprised that there hasn't been more whispers around Penn State. But every time I talk to my buddy over there, he's like, yeah, they know who they're getting.
I saw this from Josh Pate, and I know there's been some other chatter about Terry Smith, who's currently their interim head coach. And I do think he's going to make a formal interview for that job sometime this week.
They were chanting his name.
Yeah.
Be careful with that.
I still feel like the move for Penn State, and I always have, and I feel like that's where they're going, is Eli Drinkwitz. I feel like that would be the one, Bo, and he would be the one that I think scares me, because what he's done at Missouri, and this hasn't been like a one-year thing with them, and I know they're not fighting for the SEC title this year and getting in the championship game, but they've been pretty feisty the past couple of years. They've gotten some big-time recruits in there as well, and I would have to think if he can do that there, and they have the money at Missouri, but they have the money maybe even more at Penn State. So
yes,
I think that's where they would go. I think that's probably where they should go, and that's the one that would scare me the most.
Yeah, he's definitely the most proven of the guys that you hear. Here's now just doing a quick little search on Chesney and where maybe some of this momentum is coming from. He's a PA native. He's from Culpmont, Pennsylvania. He's 48. He's bounced around a little bit before finally getting the job at James Madison, 130 and 51. He's had success at every single level, and has won at Holy Cross. He was there for 6 years before now going to James Madison. So that I think is where that momentum is coming from. But I think we can all agree, whoever they hire, to me it feels like it's someone who is a current head coach, and it's someone that they've been very sure on for a while, because there are no rumors or innuendo around Penn State. No one's getting linked to Penn State. It's kind of like, feels like they have their guy one way or another. So, and that's the consistent messaging that I'm getting from over in Happy Valley, is that they know who they're going to hire, and it's just they're waiting until the season is over to be able to do it. And I would be very cautious about hiring the interim.
Is that a thing where we come back this time next week and Penn State's already made that introduction?
Yeah, I mean that's what it feels like, that they will have somebody ready to go by the time this season is over, and that's before Smith's had this little run of play here. So that's the feeling that I've gotten over there the whole time. Pretty remarkable flex out of Joe Burrow on Instagram, who took a picture of himself in a LeBron James Cavaliers jersey, size like youth large, and he just wrote "He's back."
That's awesome.
It's so good. So good. I don't know. I think he's a football player. He wants to play. Here is Zach Taylor on Burrow playing Thanksgiving night in Baltimore.
I anticipate him playing, but we'll continue to work through the week. I'm not going to declare that definitively. Work through the week, coming off an injury. He's done everything he could. He put himself in a position to do his best to play yesterday, and we'll continue with that mindset. But he looks like he's in good shape right now to be ready to go.
Certainly there could be some rust for Burrow. Here is Zach on that.
Difficult to predict. You know, it has been several months, and so again, I'm not going to make any predictions on what it looks like. But again, he's put himself in great shape. It was good to see him through the progression that we've had over the last several weeks. I think it was a fair progression for him to do the 7-on-7, do the 11-on-11, get your mind right, try to get ready to play in a game, and then ultimately we'll wait and see where it lands. But I think it's been a really good progression that's been helpful for him, and done everything he can and we can to get him ready to go play in a game.
I know a lot of you are out there saying as Bengals fans, well, probably two things. Number one, what are we doing? Like, the season's lost. Number two, Joe doesn't play defense, and that's our problem. But the one thing that does come with this, and it can't be ignored, is the energy boost that comes with having Burrow back. Here's Zach on that.
Well, I mean, he's a great player, obviously, and so it's exciting to have him back. I think our energy's been really good. I don't feel like that's been an issue for us, and you see the way the team fought there till the very end, trying to get stops in all three phases and score points on offense. And so these guys fought tooth and nail, played with really good energy. But obviously, when you got one of the greatest players in the world coming back, that's another boost on top of that. And so, when we do get Joe back, it'll be exciting to watch him go out there and play, and I'm sure it's energy for everybody involved.
So they will get Burrow back. They will not have Trey Hendrickson back. I'd be shocked if he plays again, honestly, at this point. Like, what's the incentive? This is what happened when you handle players the way they've handled him. And so he's under no obligation to play at all, and I don't know why he would, because he's going to be playing somewhere else next year. T. Higgins still in concussion protocol as well. They will get Jamar Chase back, who said in a statement he took full responsibility for his actions in the game at Pittsburgh when he allegedly spit on Jalen Ramsey. Or can we say he did?
Oh, no, he did.
Yeah. We have the video proof.
Right. Video don't lie.
Here's the quote. What I did was wrong. The circumstances don't matter. My passion for the game is no excuse. There's zero place in our sport or life for that level of disrespect. I want to personally apologize to everyone within the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. I let my emotions in the moment get the better of me. I can only hope and trust none of it represents who I am, not as a competitor, teammate, or person. Now, no specific apology to Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
So, but I don't know that he owes him one. Who knows what Ramsey said in that.
Is there anything that someone can say to you that would justify that sort of a response?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'd rather him spit in his face than punch his helmet, because then you could break your hand.
Yeah, the punching the helmet's something I've never understood. I mean, the spitting's something I've never understood either. And
Me either, but...
somebody got punched in the nether regions last night on Monday Night Football. So I don't know. The idea that he just did, I apologize to the Steelers organization. Well, maybe just apologize to the guy you spit on. Even if you don't mean it. Acknowledge that, because the whole thing rings hollow without the actual person you spit on.
I'm going to go back to the Burrow thing, and I've kind of been on the other side of the argument with where I understand and sometimes agree with the people that are like, well, why should he play? The defense isn't the problem. Joe Flacco, you saw what he could do in a couple games. And I go back to if they would have had Burrow this past weekend. Flacco was terrible against the Patriots. He was awful. If they have Burrow, as close as that was, maybe they could have squeaked that game out. Then you're sitting there at 4-7. You're just 2 games out of winning this division. Who knows what could happen? And we saw what Burrow did with that team in a bad defense last year down the stretch when he had them hot as can be. And if they would have got in, I'm pretty sure nobody would have wanted to play them. We have seen that the margin for error in the NFL this year is so close that I'm kind of on the other side. Like, if my doctors tell me he is not at risk of further injuring himself in any way, I agree now. Throw him out there Thursday night and see what you can do.
Yeah, and furthermore, who's stopping him? Like, even if it was in the best interest to stop him, like, no one down there is going to stop him. He wants to play. He's a professional football player. You only have so much time.
They got 6 games left in the regular season. 3 of them are away. 3 of them are at home. Those home games, the tickets will sell. Yes. There'll be packed stands. There's energy. There'll be palpable energy for games that may not matter because they're away for the next 2. I think it's Baltimore, and then it's Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be. And here's the thing, and I agree with you, games that won't matter in terms of the playoffs and all of that, but they matter to the fans because you're spending your hard money to go to that stadium and watch a game in inclement weather. And if you can watch Joe Burrow, then by God, there's value in that. There's a lot of value in Dom Tiberi. Trust me. He's up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Rick Germain called me the other day and said, Mikey, we need you back at Germain Nissan. The dealership misses you, and people are forgetting how awesome Nissans are. I'm a dude that's owned pretty much every Nissan under the sun, and I'm excited to go back in and get my hands dirty. You have to be crazy not to consider a Nissan from Germain Nissan. J.D. Power ranked Nissan #1 in customer satisfaction among mainstream brands. Plus, with Germain's $1,000 price promise, no one will sell you a Nissan for less. Germain Nissan, 4300 Morse Road, JermaineNissan.com.
You don't have to wait for Black Friday for good deals at Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Save on remote starters, window tint, and all things car audio. Dash cams, Apple CarPlay, and more. Columbus Car Audio and Accessories Black Friday sale. Going on now. Morse Road, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or ColumbusCarAudio.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
You don't have to wait for Black Friday to get good deals at Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Shop early anytime this week and save on remote starters to warm yourself up, window tint to add style and privacy, and all things car audio to make your ride louder and better than the rest. Plus, check out deals on dash cams, Apple CarPlay, paint protection film, and more. Shop for yourself or everyone on your list at Columbus Car Audio and Accessories Black Friday sale. Going on now. Morse Road near Easton, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or online at ColumbusCarAudio.com.
We have made our community a very important part of our business. One of the things that many people may not realize is that I was born and raised in Columbus. Our plant is in Columbus. All of our employees are from Ohio. And the community hears about all this stuff. And so the community trusts us.
See for yourself. Visit RosatiWindows.com or come to our showroom located at 4200 Roberts Road.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bishop and Friends present Tuesdays with Taberry.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Well, it's that time.
Yep.
How did we get here this quick?
Just seems like it was yesterday. You and I were talking about Texas winning the national title and Arch Manning winning the Heisman.
Here we go.
Remember? It was.
I do.
It was. You know what I think? You know what irritates me more than anything?
I can think of a couple things, but go ahead.
The supposed experts that are out there that run their mouths and they all the stuff. The same experts that are now saying Ohio State's played no one on a weak schedule. We don't know how good they are and all are the same people that talked about this is going to be Penn State's year. They're good. They're loaded. Had them ranked number 2. Same people that said Arch Manning was going to win the Heisman in Texas. Ohio State, that really doesn't match up well with them. Same people that said that now are saying, I mean, it just drives me crazy. You can only play what's on the schedule, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And Ohio State has looked like the number 1 team against everyone they've played. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and they are the number 1 team.
But, I mean, they played.
They're not ranked 8th.
No, but they played like it. They did what you would expect the best team in the country to do. Now they got to go beat these guys. And and here's the second thing that's got me kind of worked up today.
I see you're really lathered up.
Well, I mean, I look at my Twitter, and then these people send me direct messages and whatever.
Why do you have your DMs open?
I don't know. How do you turn it off?
Just turn that off.
I don't know. It's like,
good Lord.
It's like the start of this show where you go, and I'm saying there's 10,000 buttons in here, and then you go, oh, just hit the one that's on or off.
Well, that's
on. Yeah, that's fine, but I don't know. But they're already sending me the little shots. You know, I understand that they have won 4 in a row. Congratulations. Act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, why? First of all, I'm not playing in the game. I don't decide who wins or loses. So why send your shots to me?
Yeah.
Explain that. I mean, why? Because they're sitting in.
We had a good 20 years.
They're sitting in mom's basement. Going, oh, look what I just did. I just sent this DM to Dom Taberry.
But you're letting them just turn off the DMs, and then they can't reach you.
Well, you got to show me how to do that.
I'll show you.
I mean, I get DMs all the time. I got some lady, and I don't know where she is. She wants to be my friend.
Good Lord. You're a married man. Be careful.
I don't even respond. She's in, I don't know what country she's even from.
That might be a bot, so don't open that one at work.
I don't open any of them.
All right, very good.
I pay attention to the Tegna phishing or whatever it is.
You're on it.
Phishing. Yeah. Whatever the heck it is.
What do you remember about the, I know you covered it, Woody Hayes' introductory press conference and how he changed the rivalry?
What do I remember about Woody Hayes? Yeah, that's very funny. Woody Hayes, though.
You got to know Coach Hayes, though. Because I think that changed it. And you knew Bo, too.
Yeah.
What changed it from your perspective, and what was it like for you as a young reporter being able to have access to those two guys who really set this rivalry off?
Well, being a kid that grew up in Columbus during the glory years, the 10-year war, it was, it was amazing. It's all this town talked about. It's all they talked about up there. And the funny thing is, these two guys loved each other, and they were like best friends. That's the behind the scenes that you didn't know. I'll never forget when Woody died. I went up and I interviewed Bo, and we were talking about his relationship with Woody Hayes. And he said, I want to tell you a story about Woody Hayes. He said, I was honored by a club in Dayton, and I came down to do it, and Woody Hayes went to this event and introduced me, talked about me like the brothers that we were, and then he went home and died and said he was in bad health, but he did that for me. And so those two guys, but they did everything to fire this rivalry up. I mean, we did the 10-year war, the video, we produced it, and it was amazing. The shenanigans that these guys would pull on each other from, Woody claimed that Bo messed with the pipes up in the locker room in Ann Arbor, and he wouldn't let the guys flush the toilets because they were made this rattling noise when they would flush. Bo, and I asked Bo about it. He goes, I didn't do anything with that, but why don't you ask Woody why he turned the hot water off in our showers? And they would steal helmets, and the stories were famous. Like Woody just wanted to beat those guys so bad, and Bo did too, and they just made it everything that it is. And back then, the winner, and it was they called it the Big Two and the Little Eight. And back then, you were playing for the championship to go to the Rose Bowl. And those were innocent days. They were great days. And unfortunately, for guys like me, the hard part is to realize that the game is never going to be the same as to what it was. We're never going back to that day.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, and we've talked about the learning curve. God forbid Ohio State would lose, but if they would lose, they would still be, I think, one of the top seeds. And I think they would still have a great shot to win the national title. We still don't know what's going to happen with, I think Jeremiah's going to play, if you believe the Caleb Downs podcast.
Well, he said it.
You know what I mean?
It's out of his mouth.
I understand that, but if you believe what you heard that, we don't know about Carnell, but I wish they were to. But Michigan's banged up too. Ohio State's a 9.5-point favorite. Unfortunately, Bo, you and I have witnessed, not always does the best team win in this series.
No, for the majority of the time I covered the team, it did.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the time it ddid. Last year, 20.5. This is a new thing, right? What's happened the last couple of years. And I do think that you mentioned Bo, Woody, and how close they were. There was hatred for sure, but there was also, I think, a lot of respect. I think that went away with the Stallions Harbaugh stuff. I've heard other former players say this, and I think it's right. I think that the two programs hate each other now more than they ever did.
Oh, I think you're spot on. And Michigan has brought a lot of that on themselves. I mean, I don't know. And the smugness. It is the smugness. And I'll tell you the thing that Ohio State is the Big Ten Conference. I think we can agree on that. They are the king of the hill. And when Fox brought in Portnoy, and I mean, okay, he's there to be, an antagonist. But why would you bring this guy in to antagonize your number one thing? The number one thing this conference has. And for him to say, well, Michigan's never given any games back. Ohio State has. I mean, the way Petiti handled this, the way the conference handled this, if I'm Ross Bjork, if I'm Ryan Day, if I'm the Buckeyes, I'm on a slow burn. I mean, I am on a slow burn, and it's just piling on. if he could beat them by 100 this year, it wouldn't be enough in my book. In my book, there needs to be a reckoning, and I'm hoping and I'm praying it's coming this year.
You know who I miss this week?
Who's that?
Earl.
Oh, my gosh. Could you imagine how fired up he would be right now, given what happened, given the way that this all went down? I mean, no offense. They had to still pay, $20 million fine?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they got show causes.
All that. I mean, they're guilty of sin. And then for those guys to say, yeah, but we didn't have any games taken away. They should have had them all taken away. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then and Portnoy, that guy, I mean, and here's what it is. I don't watch it.
Yeah.
But they want people to watch. And, people that hate him watch him.
Yeah, I think it was their answer to McAfee a little bit. But the different, in terms of big, outrageous, all of those things. But the difference is that he is a Michigan booster who helped pay for and acquire the quarterback.
But he's a one-trick pony. Everything is, I hate Ohio State. I love Michigan. That's the whole thing.
And it's why it's probably not going to be sustainable, but that's why they did it. And I do think that it's a pretty bold thing to do when you are going to spend most of your Saturdays prepping Ohio State games. My God, they were here last week.
Well, and then
they weren't, but I mean, the Big Noon was here against Rutgers.
I know, but here's the deal: you got that going on, and then you got the Wolverines talking about they're going to leave the conference. What I mean, the Big Ten. I don't understand.
I'm actually on their side on that one because I don't like the private equity thing.
But I'm not arguing that point.
Yeah.
But they have bent over backwards to take care of them, and then they're going to leave. Petiti, come on.
All right. I know you're going to pick the Buckeyes to win. What I'm curious about is if you're spatchcocking a turkey.
Yes, I am. I'm cooking 2 turkeys. I'm going to roast one. We're going to spatchcock and smoke another. Both. I got a new syringe. Yeah, I think it's what you tranquilize your cows with, and it's a
You're gonna shoot that sucker up, aren't you?
With butter.
Just inject it.
Just inject the living heck out of it. Yeah, and then I'm gonna smoke it and roast it. We're having potatoes. My daughter said I can't make the mac and cheese. That my mac and cheese is no good. She will handle it.
That's a bold statement for a guy like you.
Well, whatever. I don't like it as sloppy as she does. She likes it sloppy.
A little sloppy.
I like to be able to taste the noodles. I don't want to just like it's like
drippy.
Well, it's like soup with her. It's just so wet.
I love you, buddy.
I see. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. I love doing this. 44 years, and I love all you people out there that listen to Uncle Bo and all this, but thanks for letting me be part of this on Tuesdays. I love all of you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. The great Dom Taberry, Channel 10, joining us on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select steel tools. Shop online or in store.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
At Giant Eagle, we believe in better, and that includes finding more ways to help you save. Because finding a good deal is everyone's deal. Because every dollar and every moment counts. Because value you can count on is priceless. On sale this season at Giant Eagle, you'll find lower prices to the end of the year on favorites like Honeycrisp apples, Oreo cookies, eggs, and more. Giant Eagle, because it matters. Limited time only through 12/31/25. Prices and participation may vary.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. It's cold out there, and if you spent all last winter thinking that it was time to replace your windows, but you didn't want to spend the money or have your windows done in the middle of the winter, well, it's good you waited. Now, during Window Nation's end-of-year sale this November, you could save big on your windows. You'll save 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Window Nation's proven quality windows are so good, you'll actually save money on lower utility bills every month, and they're backed with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation even has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and over 45,000 5-star customer reviews. And did I mention you could celebrate your newly upgraded home with a chance to get tickets to an upcoming Ohio State game? Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Window Nation's end-of-year sale is your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles, plus 0% financing for 5 years. Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Hurry, the sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com today to get started. Once again, that's windownation.com.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years, and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day. My toilet's clogged, backed up too. The sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free, guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody. Work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Tuesday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
On Monday, the college football playoff and ESPN agreed to extend the deadline to determine if there will be any changes made to the playoff format in 2026 and beyond. The new deadline for completing the format and related structural decisions will move from December 1st to January 23rd of 2026. So there have been a lot of meetings, and we'd even talked with Ross.
Any of these idiots look at a calendar? I'm sorry, Reese. Do any of them, like, why would they add this in December? Of course you had to move it. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, we had talked to Ross Bjork. He'd mentioned this was a floating date, and now they have officially floated it to 2026. Thing or not a thing?
Idiot thing. I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, the calendar's broken. You know, like nobody wants a 2014 playoff except Tony Petitti because he's trying to create more money. Like, 12 is fine. If you're going to go to 16, then just get rid of the conference championship games. Like, can there be any damn common sense in this sport, Reese? Any common sense? That's all I'm asking for, is a little bit.
I don't think anybody has any faith in these people that are running this to make a decision that works and works right.
Just real quick, by these people, you mean the Power 4 athletic directors, Tony Petitti, Greg Sankey, and Notre Dame athletic director, Pete Bavacqua.
Of course,
got to make sure he's in there.
Why don't they ever just bully Notre Dame?
Because
just say no seat at the table.
They're the Lord's team. Everybody loves them. Can't do that.
Join a conference or get out.
Hellfire and brimstone will rain down on you, Bo.
I guess I got to watch. My wife and kids are Catholic, so I guess I have to be careful.
I just have no faith. And I guess in this whole meeting, the people I would have faith the most in is ESPN, because they're going to do whatever's best for their pocketbooks, right? They're going to do whatever is the best for them and make the most money for them. So I guess the people I have the most faith in are ESPN, but be damned everything else, right? Because they don't care. And these conference commissioners don't care either. This has been proven. Tony Petitti's proven it time and time again. Show me the money. That's what they want.
It's funny, on the calendar thing, a lot of people coming. I mean, I think we've been talking about the calendar on this show, and we've given you the blueprint for it for like 5 years.
Joe
and now
Klatt.
A lot of. Yeah, you shared that. Klatt's now on board with us as well. Pate was on board with us last week. Like, we've been saying it around here for 4 or 5 years. We've given you how to do it. It's an easy fix, and I just don't understand why they don't just I dream a genie it and make it true.
So for what it's worth, that Monday, January 23rd, new deadline for the future of the college football playoff will come 3 days, after the national championship game. Monday, January 19th for the title tilt, and then that Friday, so I should say 4 days, for when they have to decide if in 2026 we want to expand this thing to 16 teams. Or I guess more. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Tennessee Titans 30-24 Sunday in Tennessee. Seattle's Jackson Smith-Njigba had 8 catches for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns in that win. JSN's now at 1,416 yards on the season through 12 weeks, which is a new Seattle franchise record, passing DK Metcalf's franchise mark of 1,303 yards. Thing or not a thing?
Well, it's a massive thing. I mean, I knew he would be good. I didn't think he'd be Tyreek Hill, which is kind of what he's been this year for Seattle. The other thing that there was a stat yesterday that I thought was even more remarkable that illustrated his dominance. The percentage of Seattle Seahawks receiving offense he's responsible for is like 40-some%. Like, can you imagine if they just would have kept DK Metcalf and they had Metcalf and JSN? What that would have looked like? So, I mean, they're really good anyway, but he's got a chance, a real chance, and I think he's probably, I haven't looked this up, but it's between him and I would think Jonathan Taylor to be the Offensive Player of the Year.
The Seahawks obviously knew what they were doing. They knew what they had, right? Yeah. When they felt it was okay to get rid of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, a duo that's been so good for them for so long. This was a stat that doesn't take into account the game this past weekend, but most receiving yards first 11 games of a season in NFL history. Josh Gordon, 1,400. Tyreek Hill, 1,324 in 2023. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, 1,313 this year. I remember, I think it was the week of the Rose Bowl when Ohio State beat Utah. Mm-hmm. And it was when JSN kind of had his coming out party and Marv had his first big game because Olave and Wilson were sitting out. Yeah. I remember the media asking Olave and Wilson about each other and the wide receiver room and whatnot. And I remember them both saying that Jackson Smith-Njigba was better than them. And I was like, oh, they're just being good teammates, you know, sticking up for the guy in their room. Holy cow, were they right too?
Yeah.
Because they are ridiculously good receivers, and we're here at Ohio State, and Olave will always be one of my favorites. They've been good in the NFL. Jackson Smith-Njigba is pushing Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson now.
Yeah, and the other thing that, you know, the great what if with him, because we never got to see, like, imagine him and Marv the next year if the injury doesn't happen for him.
That's, I think, what the Carnell Tate thing makes people think about, and that's what's kind of terrifying. Just the idea that you have this all-time generational talent and you're not able to get to see them at their highest potential, reach their peak in college, because there's just an injury that you can't quite figure out.
Yeah.
Columbus Crew head coach Wilfried Nancy is set to leave the team to manage Scottish Premier Club Celtic FC located in Glasgow. The 48-year-old Nancy spent 3 seasons with the Crew, winning 2023 MLS Cup and the 2024 Leagues Cup. This past season, he coached the Crew to a 14-8-12 regular season record. They were 7th in the Eastern Conference. They lost in the first round of the playoffs to FC Cincinnati. He was MLS Coach of the Year in 2024. The 2026 season begins on February 21st. Columbus is going to be playing future games at Scott's Miracle Grow Field as their home stadium agreement with Lower.com Field was allowed to lapse. 2026 will also be the final year that the MLS season begins in February before they align to a July-May orientation to match the rest of the world. Thing or not a thing?
Lots of things there. It's good to see local company back on the name with the Scots. The other thing that's cool there, I've always thought, like, if I was running Scott's Miracle Grow, I would build the biggest youth sports outdoor field complex in the country, and it would be the Scott's Miracle Grow Fields. Like, build it, they will come, I promise you. On the Nancy part, Celtic is a massive club. Massive club. It's them and Rangers in Scottish soccer. They are the two that run it. If he wins at Celtic, he can be the manager at Liverpool. Like, that's what that job allows for you to do. It's the stepping stone to that type of job. So, and it's got to be a rarity to go from MLS to that level of job in Europe. So I get it. Totally good for him. He was great here.
I think it might be the one thing for some people and fans in this town that's hard to wrap their head around, because we think of Ohio State football and we think of that as kind of like the pinnacle. Mm-hmm. Why would anyone ever want to move on from a job here? But this is just the Crew, and MLS is kind of a stepping stone, right, to bigger things in the soccer world. It's secondary. It's like a minor league to everything over in Europe in the Premier League, and good for Nancy to do such a good job here that he's able to parlay that into probably something that was his dream. I don't know if he ever dreamed of coaching the Columbus Crew. Maybe he did dream of coaching in those leagues, so congratulations to him.
Yeah, any kid growing up would be aware of Celtic Rangers. I mean, that's one of the biggest rivalries in world football, truly. So he's going to get in the middle of that, which is going to be a lot of fun. Final hour on a Tuesday, we will blitz the NFL. Our good buddy Angelique Chengelis of the Detroit News is going to take us behind enemy lines at 11:30. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
It's finally here. Rivalry Week.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
We're talking about the Buckeyes and meat chicken all damn week. Join us, The Fan.
Rick Germain called me the other day and said, Mikey, we need you back at Germain Nissan. The dealership misses you, and people are forgetting how awesome Nissans are. I'm a dude that's owned pretty much every Nissan under the sun, and I'm excited to go back in and get my hands dirty. You have to be crazy not to consider a Nissan from Germain Nissan. J.D. Power ranked Nissan #1 in customer satisfaction among mainstream brands. Plus, with Germain's $1,000 price promise, no one will sell you a Nissan for less. Germain Nissan, 4300 Morse Road, GermainNissan.com.
'Tis the season for making memories. Give the gift of more time together at Dick's House of Sport and join us for family fun events all season long. Plus, climb a rock wall, test the multi-sport cage, and perfect your swing in a golf simulator. And shop the widest selection of the hottest brands like Nike, FP Movement, Adidas, Carhartt, UGG, and Stanley. Unforgettable moments start here at Dick's House of Sport. Visit dicks.com/House of Sport to see what's happening this season.
When you're building a single-family house, multi-unit house, townhouse, penthouse, row house, or tiny house, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. The Columbus builders who are building Columbus do. They know they can rent the right equipment at the right price right now, thanks to the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus. All powered by people for equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. So no matter what you've got going in or going up, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Away game this week, but that just means you can make the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus your home for Saturday football. Join the Fan for the tailgate show and then party with us with the ultimate watch party. We have football contests with amazing prizes. There's wall-to-wall screens, ticket and memorabilia giveaways, and unbeatable game day food. Can't wait to see you at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Saturday. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Don't miss great savings on bacon. 16-ounce packages of Sugardale bacon are buy one, get one free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, How about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Skyline's Mac and Cheese 3-Way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a Mac and Cheese 3-Way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
When I started in the window business probably 40 years ago, as the industry grew, I started to realize that everything was wrong. So when I finally decided to start my own company, there were a number of reasons. One of those was I knew I could build a better window. I could take care of my customers. I could service them better. I could make sure that they got what they paid for.
Experience the Rosati difference today.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1 Ohio State looks to remain in the top spot when the fourth set of playoff rankings come out tonight at 7. The committee's got one more rankings show next Tuesday before the final reveal on Sunday, December 7th. On the field, Ohio State plays at Michigan Saturday at noon. Jeremiah Smith says he's good to go. Ryan Day says Smith and Carnell Tate are trending in the right direction. Hear more from OSU's head coach today at noon. We'll carry Coach Day live on the Fan when he takes the podium. In college hoops, Ohio State's back at the Shot Tuesday, hosting Mount St. Mary's at 6:30. Buckeyes are 5-0 on the season. We'll have tonight's game on the Fan with pregame coverage at 5:30. Buckeyes will play at Pittsburgh Friday night at 7, while the Ohio State women's squad plays number 21 West Virginia tomorrow in the Bahamas at 1:30. This update is sponsored by Roosters. For every $50 you spend on Roosters gift cards this holiday season, you'll receive a $10 Roosters bonus buck at Roosters locations or online at roosterswings.com.
When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed, it is. Final hour here on a Tuesday. Our good buddy Angelique Chengelis going to join us at 11:30 from the Detroit News Behind Enemy Lines. Before we get to that, though, it's time to blitz the NFL. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present NFL Blitz.
Sponsored by Monogram Homes. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building.
All right, I believe I had that. What did you have, Reese?
55% for Shedeur Sanders. I think last week I said 50% passing, 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio would be good enough with the way the Browns defense was playing to get the first win by a rookie in his start for the Cleveland Browns since 1995.
Yeah, it's crazy. Bake, what'd you have?
For me, I had the Chiefs beating the Colts, and I know it didn't look like they were going to. It was a struggle for them, but I just felt that was kind of a must-win for Kansas City if they wanted to make sure that they got into the postseason this year, and they're not quite there yet, but I think they had to do that. Also, there's just levels to this, and the Colts are a really good team, but when you go quarterback for quarterback there, and Mahomes has not had the greatest year, but I'm going to put my money on Patrick Mahomes over Daniel Jones, at least right now, every time.
Yeah, he still probably has that. I believe I had it. Somebody knew something. That's the only reason that you could make sense of the Niners being favored by 7 over the Panthers. So somebody knew something, and that's how that one shook out. The other one was Rams. I've been on the Rams for a little more than a month now. I think they're the best team in football. I think they've been heading that way for a long time. That was an absolute dismantling of a pretty decent Bucs team, and they beat the brakes off of them. It was 31-7 at half. They could have done whatever they wanted. I did not have that. What did you not have, Reese?
The Eagles blowing a 3-score lead. Philadelphia, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And quick turnaround to Friday against a really good, I think, Chicago Bears team.
Yeah.
Speaking of those Bears, and I was going to go the same way you did there, Reese, with the Eagles just giving up that 21-point lead, just dumbfounding there, but I didn't have the Bears beating the Steelers. I just thought that was a game that the Bears were not ready to win yet, and the Steelers are one of those teams that no matter what, they're always right there. They're always over 500. They're probably one of the best run, if not the best run franchises in the NFL. I just didn't think the Bears were ready for it yet, and they got it done.
Yeah, they are. They just win games. I mean, they don't deserve a lot of credit for it. I did not have weird Detroit. So Detroit won this week. They beat the Giants, but it was way closer than it needed to be, and it went to overtime. It took Jahmyr Gibbs having like an all-time game. This was a Lions team that coming out of, they beat the brakes off of the Ravens, and they beat the Browns, they beat the Bengals. They went into Kansas City, lost, and they're kind of a yo-yo, one up, one down. I just thought that this would be a year where maybe they would put it all together the way they did a year ago, and they've been pretty middling, really, for about the last 6 weeks. Player who impressed, Reese, who do you got?
Myles Garrett. The most valuable defensive player in the league, and 22.5. That's coming down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To me, it was Jermaine Pratt in that loss to the Chiefs. He was awesome for the Indianapolis Colts. He's obviously familiar with Lou Anarumo's defense. He had 20 tackles, 2 tackles for loss and a pass breakup. I'm guessing the Bengals wished they still had that on their defense.
Oh, you mean Lou didn't forget how to coach defensive football, and Jermaine didn't forget how to tackle.
Yeah.
That did. So okay. I thought maybe they did.
Just
it's
not
Myles.
enough pie, Bo.
I'm going to give you a stat that is. It puts Myles, I think, into perspective in terms, because I do think this is like he's rushing the passer now better than anybody has done anything. I mean, that's kind of where we're at with Myles. He has 13 sacks in the last 4 games. Okay. The second place for most sacks in the NFL is Brian Burns, who has 13 sacks all season. Yeah, that's what you're dealing with here. Yeah, he's going to break the sack record. He might break the tackles for loss record, which is held by J.J. Watt at 39. That's in play, too. It's remarkable what he's done. Player who disappointed, Reese, who do you got?
Not necessarily a player. I was going to have Josh Allen, but I think the Bills are a little bit more flawed than just him. But how are the Carolina Panthers getting 3 interceptions from Brock Purdy in the first half and still losing on Monday night?
Great question, especially with the greatest offense
ever. What in the absolute hell?
Guys, there's nothing in this world that maybe displeases me more than T-Bone and Tyvis producer Dylan Gonzalez getting proven right, but Baker Mayfield has not been good here recently, and I know he left the game the other night with a shoulder injury, and I know the Los Angeles Rams are a really good team, but Bake was just 9 of 19 for 41 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks before he left that game. The schedule has gotten a little tougher here for Tampa Bay, and Bake has wilted a little bit, and that disappoints me as a known Baker bro.
Yeah, he is who you think he is. He'll have those moments, and then there will also be a ceiling to it, and it is 3 straight losses. They played 3 straight good teams. They lost to them all. The last win they have against a good team was probably against the San Francisco 49ers, who are really banged up, but they beat them. Other than that, when they play good teams, they get bombed. He was on my list, too, not just from the performance, but now with the injury. They've lost 3 in a row, and now he's got the same injury that he had in Cleveland. And he played through that, and a lot of people said, well, that's why all of that stuff happened. Who knows the real truth on that? But, yeah, he was mine in part because of play and in part because of just bad luck with a similar injury. Bud Kilmer, honorary coach of the week. Who do you got, Reese?
I'm going to give it to Bears head coach Ben Johnson. I think these last 4 games have been by the smallest of margins, but I think it's good coaches figure out ways to get their teams to win those kinds of games where, you look and say, well, they ain't played and they ain't beat nobody. 8-3 is nothing. You're not bad. I think you're really good if you're 8-3 at this point in the year.
I had Ben Johnson written down as well. I'll go to Brian Schottenheimer. I think a lot of people thought the Cowboys were crazy for hiring him. They're right in the thick of this thing now, and for them to go down 21-0 to the Eagles and never give up and to fight back, and everybody's showing the clip of that special teams player with that effort play that he made to go down there and make the fumble on the punt return. Those guys, you don't get that if you don't believe in your head coach. They've got a big one Thanksgiving with Kansas City. That's huge for both of those teams.
Yeah, it really is. I'm going to go DeMeco Ryans here. They are 6-5. They've won 3 in a row. They've won 4 out of 5, including 3 in a row without C.J. Stroud. Their defense is elite. They just beat the Bills on Thursday Night Football. They believe in him. They're able to run it a little bit now with Woody Marks. Davis Mills has been okay, and they're sitting there at 6-5 on a season that I think a lot of people thought would be a lost one. Top 3 teams in the NFL right now. Who do you got top 3, Reese?
Rams, Patriots, Seattle Seahawks.
Bo, I have come over to your side.
Same.
The Rams. I've got the Seahawks number 2, and then I've got the Patriots 3.
Exact same list I have in the exact same order. I got Rams, Seahawks, Patriots. I think they're the 3 best teams right now. The AFC, I can't ever recall it being this wide open. The teams that are atop of these things, you're either going to have somebody like Drake May who can elevate to a Super Bowl in year 2. Can that Broncos team with just really nothing offensively, is their defense good enough? Daniel Jones in Indy. I mean, the Ravens are atop the North at 6-5, but they are really flawed. Like if you look at Lamar is not running the football the way that he has in previous years. So there's a lot of red flags in the AFC, and that Rams and Seahawks outfit both look pretty damn elite. And let alone Philly is still sitting there at 8-3 despite giving up 21 unanswered. They're still not going anywhere. Super Bowl right now. Who do you got, Reese?
I mean, it's the Rams and the Chiefs because Mahomes is lurking.
And that'd be
I don't know that they're the... I don't want to doubt the Wizard because you get in trouble with that, but they don't look right, man.
No, they don't.
Just don't look right.
Be a hell of a color matchup in the Super Bowl there, too, with those blue and yellow helmets and those red and white helmets from the Chiefs. Reese, I see it the same way as you do. I've got it Rams and Chiefs because I believe they're getting in, and I don't believe in a quarterback head coach duo more than those two.
Well, I'll give you one that I do, and that's Mike Vrabel and Drake May. So
I'm rooting for that.
I got New England.
Actually.
Can you imagine we're in a situation where we're rooting for a team that has 6 Super Bowls?
You're rooting for...
or 7? How many do they have?
You're rooting for New England, Kansas City to lose to newer New England.
I like this New England. Let's separate. Can we separate that?
This one's better. Yeah. I got Rams and Pats. I think that's where we're at this point. The Patriots have won 9 straight games. Think about these winning streaks we have in the NFL. Patriots have won 9 in a row. Ravens 5 in a row. 8 in a row for Denver. The Ramets have won 6 in a row. So some massive win streaks out there. Can the Browns keep a good thing going in terms of wins and losses? Well, we know who the quarterback will be officially. No real surprise here, but we'll get to it coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan. Get Eco.
Every kid deserves new toys at Christmas. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Get Eco. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians donate thousands of dollars to Toys for Tots each year. And this year will be our biggest donation ever.
Are you willing to buy a new toy for a little kid this Christmas?
Every Eco location in Ohio is officially a Toys for Tots drop-off location.
And every Eco plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician will be delighted to transport any new unwrapped toys that you would like to donate to Toys for Tots.
Buy a toy for a kid this Christmas?
Or a bunch of new toys.
And give them to any Eco technician you happen to see.
To drop off a new unwrapped toy at the Eco location nearest you, just go to geteco.com for our street address.
Get Eco.
ECO. Generous plumbers, Merry Christmas electricians, and buy a kid a new toy this year, HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Before you buy a diamond, visit Diamond Seller, because not all jewelers are created equal. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Seller. For over 78 years, we've set the standard for craftsmanship, service, and value. Our in-house jewelers and gemologists work together to ensure every diamond is as brilliant as the person you love. All backed by our guaranteed best price. We don't just sell rings, we build relationships that last generations. So this holiday, before you say yes, make sure it's with the jeweler that's been trusted for over 7 decades. Visit Diamond Seller today.
What's up? It's Matty Ice. Black Friday deals are here and they're happening all month long at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, you can lease a brand new 25 or 26 Chevy Trax LT for just $299 a month for 36 months. Or if you prefer to finance, get it for only $329 a month for 84 months for qualified buyers. With over 20 tracks in stock, you're sure to find the perfect fit for your lifestyle. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Give the gift everyone wants. Fun in your own game room. Billiards Plus has gifts for everyone. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, card tables, grills, and more. With professional delivery and installation, you'll beat the last-minute scramble. Reserve yours now. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Oh, this week it's Rivalry Week, or as we like to call it, Beat Michigan Week, or Try Not to Get Pepper Sprayed Week. Rivalry Week sounds better. Let's go with that.
Rivalry Week on the Fan is sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Ryan Day's proven he has what it takes to win a natty, but can he take control of the biggest rivalry in sports? Will Julian Sayin or Jeremiah Smith have a Heisman moment? Will the fan staff consume 500 wings in a single setting? Let's find out together. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Come on, kids. We're going to Grandma's house.
Grandma's house. Grandma's house. What do we do to be safe and ready to go? We buckle up. Buckle up.
Phones down.
Phones down. And when we go, take it slow. And if you drink,
don't drive. And off we go.
ODOT, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and the Ohio Traffic Safety Office are doing their part to keep roads safe. Do your part to make sure everyone makes it home safe for the holidays.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're tracking the rain to continue here through most of your Tuesday with high temperatures into the upper 50s this afternoon. Rain showers may linger into early tonight with rainfall amounts totaling over 1/4 inch here for several locations. Now, temperatures will stay into the 50s here for tonight into early Wednesday morning, but a cold front is on the way, and that's going to knock down our temperatures to the 30s here by the evening. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
It's Rivalry Week, and dare I say the most rivalist one ever. Me Talk Pretty.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
Yeah, it's your Uncle Bo here. Time to get ready to play, win, and celebrate big at El Dorado Sayada Downs, your ultimate Caesars Rewards destination. With Caesars Rewards, you're going to earn rewards every time you play, stay, dine, or shop. Not just here, but over 50 Caesars Rewards destinations across the United States. From unforgettable getaways to incredible culinary experiences, members enjoy exclusive perks and benefits that make every visit worth it. Here at Sayada Downs, the excitement is nonstop. Take your pick. More than 1,700 of the hottest new games. Sip on award-winning craft brews at the Brew Brothers Microbrewery, or dive into Guy Fieri's Trattoria, home of the out-of-bounds 68-layer lasagna. And the energy just keeps building, guys. Sayada Downs has been chosen to host the prestigious Breeders' Crown in 2026. Features 12 championship races. It's one of the biggest events in all of harness racing, and it's coming right here to town. So come experience the action, the rewards, the unforgettable moments. They're waiting for you. It's El Dorado Sayada Downs, a Caesars Rewards destination where the rewards never stop. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. Visit Caesars.com/Sayada Downs for details. You know, we were talking about Joe Burrow earlier in the program, and I mentioned this. There's a disconnect, I think, sometimes between those of us that talk about teams and the people that actually go to games every single Sunday. And I think that disconnect is the idea of fun. And if you are somebody down in Cincinnati or up in Cleveland, and you're staring at a end of November, December slate where there's not much to play for in terms of the postseason, what's the substitute for that? Enjoying your time on a Sunday and going to root for your team. In the case of the Bengals, an ability to watch maybe the greatest quarterback in the history of the franchise. Certainly he's on that trajectory. If he just stays healthy, he will be that guy. Watch him throw to the greatest receiver in the history of the franchise, who's on that trajectory if he just stays healthy. And to be able to watch that. There's moments and times as sports fans that you can't ever get back. It isn't necessarily this notion of go win a championship or else none of it matters. There is joy in a Sunday. And I think the same is true up 71 North in Cleveland. They're getting to watch Myles Garrett put on a show each and every week, the likes of which we've never seen before in the history of the sport. That's not hyperbole. That's fact. No one has had more sacks through 11 games than Myles had. No one has had more tackles for loss through 11 games than Myles has. He's going to break the all-time sack record if he stays healthy. But beyond that, there is fun now in the offense. And Shedeur Sanders is in part responsible for that. And they did a lot to give him success on Sunday. And the landing spot was as good a landing spot as you're going to have. That Raiders team does not play very good defense outside of Max Crosby. It was going to be a position where they were going to be chasing it because of how bad their offensive line is. You knew they'd get home. 10 sacks for the Browns as a team in that game, 3 alone for Myles. But Shedeur also provided some fun. There is a joy that he brings to playing the sport. There is a willingness to put the ball in harm's way. It's a little bit like Jameis. Jameis was fun last year. No one's going to forget the game that he had at home against Pittsburgh in the snow. So Shedeur may have a higher ceiling than that, although Jameis was a franchise quarterback at 1.2. But the ability to make a play down the field. You all were watching. You saw the reaction to Myles Garrett, or no doubt if you weren't watching because it wasn't on here locally, you certainly saw the reaction Myles Garrett had to his deep ball to Isaiah Bond with his eyes wide open. Oh, we got one of those. We can complete that throw now, or we're willing to make that throw now. I'm sure Dylan can throw it. He just was unwilling to, and maybe that was what he was told. With Shedeur, there's a willingness to press it downfield, and that's fun. And so he will start this week against the 49ers. My hunch is it will be very similar to what it was going to be for Dylan Gabriel, that as long as he's playing well, he will continue to start. I know Kevin doesn't want to go beyond this week, but, well, you can parse through it however you want. Here is Stefanski answering the question of who's going to start.
Shedeur will start this week. Obviously, number one job of a quarterback is to win. So excited to get that first win under his belt. And then next thing is improvement. And that's what young players do. Certainly young quarterbacks do. You get one game better, and that's just from working at it. So that'll be our focus.
In terms of what Sanders did well in his first start, here's Stefanski on that.
Well, obviously first start for any young quarterback. You're always going to make sure that the operation is how you want it, and I thought by and large was good. There's things that we can clean up, and obviously that goes on all of us. That's coaches, that's the players, the quarterback, where we can clean up some of our operation. But I thought communication was really good throughout the day with him. And then, like you mentioned, the big plays down the field. Obviously, that first one to IB was very, very high degree of difficulty with that play. Are there things that he can do better? Absolutely. We've already talked about that with him. He has the mentality that he will make the adjustments to the speed of the game, make the adjustments to what people are giving us to make those improvements.
So I saw some stats today that it was basically, I can't think of a better way to describe it, but it was probably the least active they were offense pre-snap. So they had been putting a lot of guys in motion. They didn't do that much. They put him in a position to succeed, which is what their job is to do. The other thing that's really interesting about this, and Shedeur talked about this post-game about not getting the reps, not being used to it, all of those things. I have some thoughts on that, but here was Stefanski answering that question of Shedeur being more comfortable as a starter versus a reserve.
Without a doubt. And I think, again, there's such an adjustment for players coming out of college, regardless of position. But think about when you started your whole life in high school and college, and then there is that transition, and that comes for everybody. But the message we always have around here is you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And the life of a backup player, whether quarterback or otherwise, it's a grind. You really got to work when nobody's watching and those type of things. Now, once you do get that into that starter role, that's when the reps come. That's when the game plan is really built around your comfort level and those type of things. So it's only natural that players in that position feel more comfortable, and that's our job as coaches to continue to tweak and adjust and make sure that we're leaning into what our players do best.
I haven't been able to confirm this, but I'm 99.9% sure Shedeur Sanders has never been a backup in his life.
That tracks. Not at Jackson
Middle
State,
school,
not at Colorado.
No.
Yeah.
Even in how rare that is, most guys, even guys who are drafted number 1 overall, sit somewhere, sit as freshmen. I mean, it's rare for a kid to come in and start as a true freshman and then end up being the number 1 pick in the draft. I don't know that that's happened. I mean, I'm trying to think of number 1 picks in the draft who came in and started as a true freshman. Maybe Andrew Luck. Did he start as a true freshman at Stanford? I think even he redshirted.
Yeah, like Trevor Lawrence sat 4 games behind Kelly Bryant, I believe.
Right. Yeah. But it's rare. So he didn't know, like, all of this complaining about reps, and not all of it by him, but by people outside, like, I don't think they had any. For some were just disingenuous, but I think a lot of people had no idea of what happens when you're a backup in the NFL.
I think almost without question, the most polarizing backup, certainly in my lifetime. And yeah, because his last name's Sanders. I heard a lot of people saying if his last name was Johnson, you would never hear from him. It's like, okay, but his last name's Sanders, and he's Deion's kid.
Right.
So you're hearing about him because this is polarizing. Because he was so excellent at Colorado, and because a lot of NFL talent evaluators had him second on their big board behind the number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think about backups until you have to. And in those situations, backups act like backups. In the rare instance, is a backup ready to go and lights it up. And usually when he does, somebody overpays for him, like in the next offseason. Like this is a lot of this is unprecedented with just because it's Shedeur Sanders, because you also drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. That, man, you didn't know how to perfectly handle this. And I'm not going to give a ton of credit. The credit I'll give to Stefanski is because in so many situations within sport, you have option A and you have option B. Mm-hmm. And sometimes guys will come at you and be like, well, I choose option D. And it's like, well, we didn't give you option D. This for Stefanski was you had Dylan Gabriel come out of concussion protocol, but the right move was to make Shedeur Sanders the starter until further notice. And that's what's being done here with Cleveland. And I think that's the absolute right move, and it gives everybody a boost. If it makes Myles Garrett, the best defensive player in the league, stand up with his eyes wide and go, I haven't seen anything like that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
All you can do is have some fun in the rest of the season if you're a Browns fan. Maybe you have some interest if you're around the league saying, well, if this blows up for Cleveland and Shedeur decides, or the new regime doesn't want Shedeur, maybe he can come in as a backup. Okay.
I think that's the thing that we talked about yesterday. There's just there's just more there. There's more upside. There's maybe more hope. There's more something to believe in. With Dylan, you've got what you got. There's probably a decently high floor, but the ceiling's not far from the floor. You're going to go pretty much in a straight line. And a lot of times head coaches like that in the NFL. But with Shedeur, the ceiling is definitely higher than it is with Dylan Gabriel. Maybe the floor might be a little lower. Who knows? But there's at least some wow factor in there.
There's no doubt about that. There's going to be wow factor at noon on Saturday in the Big House. Angelique Chengelis has covered a bunch of these. We'll get her perspective behind enemy lines in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
It's Black Friday all month long with low lease payments on every model, starting at $99 a month for a 2026 Elantra. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. At Great Lakes Hyundai, these savings are so good. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus access fees, first month payment, and 2 miles per year, ends 12/1.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you want to walk, play pickleball, and enjoy other fun activities to stay healthy, but you can't because of bad feet? Hi, this is Mike, and the Good Feet store wants to help.
I just had difficulty walking. I tried them on in the store, and my foot felt so much better.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet, knees, or back problems get in the way of staying healthy and having fun.
Thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm bowling 3 nights a week.
Get back to doing what you love. At the Good Feet store, we'll personally fit you at high-quality arch supports to maximize your comfort. Stop in the Good Feet store or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
All month long at Twin Peaks, celebrate National Dessert Month with sweet endings like our Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cheesecake topped with rum chata sauce, or the Twin Peaks Sundae with a warm Ghirardelli brownie. Pair it with a Screwball peanut butter whiskey for the ultimate game day finish. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
At Giant Eagle, we're working hard to bring more ways to save to every aisle, because every dollar and every moment counts. At Giant Eagle, we're going for better, so you can bring home the best, because it matters.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and when we talk Michigan football, we sure love to do it with our next guest. Angelique Chengelis joins us of the Detroit News on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. My friend, how did we get here so quick? It's this week already?
I know, isn't it amazing? Even with 2 byes, it just feels like it was like, isn't Michigan like 3-1 now? I mean, it just feels like it went so fast. And I have to say, I got kind of old school yesterday complaining about why did they move the game after Thanksgiving. I was up all about that last night. Like, this is crazy. But anyway, it is here, and happy the game week to everyone who celebrates.
Yeah, we all do. I mean, it's one of those. It's such a magical time of year to get to this point. What is kind of an overarching thing that you've learned about this rivalry in your years covering it?
It is cyclical. It doesn't matter. Truly, that whole cliche about records don't matter. I mean, it really doesn't. And I've been looking back at the Biakabatuki games 30 years ago, and here's Ohio State coming in number 2. They're more than likely going to win the national championship. They were destined for that. It was a great team, Eddie George, and then they come to Ann Arbor and the Biakabatuki game happens. 313 yards. Michigan's offensive line played crazy out of their minds, and they won that game. And I was just thinking, that there's patterns there. And then, then Ohio State dominates for 2 decades. They have the 8 straight, and then now Michigan's got the 4 straight, trying to make it 5. And but it feels different now, though, Bo. I mean, I feel like, I argue that Ryan Day and Ohio State want to win this game. There's no doubt in my mind they want to win this game, but they don't have to.
Yeah.
And so that's changed it a little bit.
It has. They don't, and it's interesting. I think I'm sure it's similar in Ann Arbor, where there is, certainly at Harbaugh when he was trying to win this one for the first time, and from the outside looking in, they're probably like, God, Harbaugh's doing everything right. Michigan football's back. They're ranked in the top 5. At that point, they hadn't won a national title, but certainly they had elevated back to where Michigan ought to be. And the same thing is here. Like, my God, Ryan Day's won a national title. They're kind of the model that everybody wants their college football program to be. But he does have this King Kong-sized monkey that he's staring at, and I think that part does remain, at least for us in the 2 local markets, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's anyone who wants to win this more. And I was talking to Tim May yesterday, and, I do hate the whole, they wanted it more thing, when a team wins. They just wanted it more. Because I think both teams want it. I always believe that. Yeah. But I do think that Ryan Day absolutely feels like he has to win this game, even though he knows that the same outcome last year can happen again, even if they lose. They can go march to the playoffs, and they sure look like a team that can defend a national championship, but it doesn't feel complete maybe without a win over Michigan. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how Ohio State fans feel about that, but I certainly don't think they need it. But in just the scope of the game, you absolutely want to win this game if you're Ryan Day.
Is this the quietest 9-2 team in major college football, this Michigan team?
Yeah, I mean, if you mean people, are they a little under the radar? Are people not talking about it? I mean, yeah, I feel that way. And look, a couple weeks ago, they've been squeaking out wins. And the game against Purdue, I just thought it was ugly. I'm like, this is not a playoff team. There's no way this team could contend. And then they go to Northwestern, play at Wrigley, 5 turnovers, move the ball well. I mean, Bryce Underwood actually looked like he played well, except for a couple interceptions. Mm-hmm. And they have to get a game-winning kick to win. So, I give you credit. You give them credit for winning those games, but but you have to consider they've got 3 redshirt freshmen on the offensive line starting right now. You've got a freshman quarterback. You have a freshman receiver who's emerged, who is truly one of the best receivers I've seen at Michigan in a long time, in Andrew Marsh. And, I think that they've got a very good front 7, but I still don't know about the back end of this defense. And I think Michigan will certainly be tested there on Saturday. But, I think everyone's looking like next year's the year. And this is a bonus right now, what's going on.
Yeah, it's the year before the year a little bit. Mm-hmm. What has it been like covering Bryce Underwood this year with all the pomp and circumstance that went into it, local kid, all of it? What has he been like to cover? What has it been like to observe him grow as a player? What growth have you seen in him as a player?
Yeah, I have seen him improve. I mean, he's certainly looking more comfortable these last few weeks. And, I mean, there was a stretch there until last week at Maryland that they had 3 straight games without a passing touchdown. And he didn't look frustrated about it. He doesn't look frustrated after a pick. I mean, I think he's upset, but he doesn't he doesn't lose his mind and then lose his focus. So those are very mature aspects of Bryce Underwood. I think I talked to him in April. He was a little, bombastic, like, I've got God-given, I forget what the quote was he gave me, God-given ability to do amazing things, basically. Then he tells the Big Ten Network, you've never seen a freshman like me. And I think he's toned down that. And he's actually been kind of dull in post-game interviews and doesn't say much and credits, all the right people, the offensive line, the running backs, et cetera, the receivers. But I just think he's learning how to be a quarterback. And all the players talk about how they know he's got this aura, this celebrity locally, but he comes in the building and he acts like everybody else and works hard and studies. So he has a lot of respect among the players, and I have seen that.
Yeah, it's something that's grown. He threw a ball. It was in the Oklahoma game where he threw a ball it was like a Randy Johnson fastball that I remember thinking like it went right by the receiver's head. And I thought if someone doesn't turn a head around, it might have taken one off. So that was one of those things where he's got the juice is abundantly clear, but does the touch come along with it? How great does he have to be Saturday for Michigan to win?
I think, I keep looking at the forecast and I see the snow and I'm like, well, okay, this sort of plays into Michigan's run game hands. So I think that they'll want to run the ball. But that Matt Patricia and this defense are going to force Bryce Underwood to throw. They're going to test him. They're going to try to rattle him. He's got some legs. He has shown some elusive ability. He does make mistakes still. So I think that's what Matt Patricia is gunning for is to put him in that position where he just makes bad decisions and throws bad picks. And not that any of them are good. So, I think that he is poised, and he doesn't seem like the moment's ever too big for him, but he's never been in this moment, and nor has Julian Sayin. And it's tough for a first-time starter to go on the road in this game. Either way, Columbus or Ann Arbor. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how both of the quarterbacks handle this. Sayin's got a little more experience, a little more maturity, I guess, because of the time he's had in college, a little bit more than Bryce. But I really do think it's going to come down to Michigan's going to want to run the ball and occasionally test some big plays with Andrew Marsh and with Donovan McCulley and Bryce Underwood in that combination.
Angelique, I never even considered it because we're in such a college football mindset. But as you mentioned Patricia, I'm just thinking, wow, who in Detroit would have had him coming back to coordinate Ohio State in the Michigan game and have like a historic Ohio State defense in a town where he was an NFL head coach? There's that layer of it that you guys have, too, that we're not considering.
And not well liked. I mean, it's like they could not wait for Matt Patricia to leave, these Lions fans. And it came up yesterday. I'd asked Sharon more about, what's different about Matt Patricia's defense versus Jim Knowles. And then someone else asked Marlon Klein, who's from Germany, came to this country 2022, 2021. And his first comment was, well, people here don't really like Matt Patricia. And I thought that was really funny that this kid from Germany knew that, and maybe they've talked about it. But he seems like a different coach. I mean, from what you've read about when he was with the Lions, and not really a player's coach, not well liked, and really tough on media, and it seems like he has not only shed pounds and looks healthier, but he's like shed all of that. And it's certainly from all I've read about him at Ohio State, he is a player's coach. Players love him, even offensive players. So I don't think Detroit fans really want to see him back in the state, but I think that people will see a different version of him.
Yeah, it's a correct read. He is a vastly different guy, and I think learned a lot, too. And I think he brought those attributes here to town. I'll get you out of here on this one. I know these are always dangerous, and it's earlier in the week. But what is kind of your sense on how this one ends up on Saturday by the time we go final? Well,
I think, and I thought this last year, that Ohio State would win, and obviously that didn't happen. But I think Ohio State's the superior team, and I think they come into Ann Arbor and win. I don't think it'll be an enormous margin. I think a lot of the games here tend to be a little bit closer versus the games in Columbus. And I went back and looked at scores, I think a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, wow, they do seem to be closer in Ann Arbor. But, I think that Bryce Underwood's bound to make a couple mistakes. I think that and Ohio State is a team that takes advantage of it. A lot of the teams that Michigan's played just they didn't take advantage of it, but Michigan's defense has been able to shut teams down in those quick change situations. But I think Ohio State wins probably by a touchdown.
It's going to be. It's always. It's so special when it comes, and I never take it for granted. And I know you don't either. I never take for granted talking to you. Greatly appreciate your time. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time today.
Thanks, Bo. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your listeners. Thanks so much.
There she goes, Angelique Chengelis, a great friend of the program with the Detroit News, covering the Michigan football program. We're inching closer, aren't we? Three things on a Tuesday up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is a Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Flat Auto Glass. What we saw from Max Clear this past weekend, a great example, Coach, of how he can help add things to the offense, the way he can catch and run.
Yeah, Max is, I said that last week, I thought he's playing his best football, and you can see, his route running has improved and his blocking's improved, so great to see him continue to get better each week. And, he's certainly a weapon for us. And some of the matchups that, he gets, we feel like is an advantage for us. So, we'll keep figuring out how that fits into the offense and how it works. But, he really, has improved each week, and his speed and route running's improved. So, it's become a really big part of our offense.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment. Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at Safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
You talked the last few weeks, Coach, about your depth at wide receiver. We saw David Adolph get a start last Saturday, had a couple of catches. And also remembering you talking about the block that he had on Lorenzo Sta's kick return for a touchdown. He seems to be providing a number of different things.
Well, I was just going to say, you earn trust here starting on special teams. And, if you want to get on the field, you got to get on special teams, and just, the physicality and, what comes with playing any position, but including wide receiver. David's shown that. And, he's done it with hard work and discipline and showing up every day. And, you saw him make some big catches in the game. And so, he's become somebody that's helped us in special teams, and now you're seeing him get on the field and become a contributor on the offense.
Okay, there's the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Toyota Thona's on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys. Or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $269 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, I'm Steffi. You may know me from your social feed. I go big for the holidays, so I'm going to Famous Footwear because the best gifts are giving famous. My friends and family are going to love all these styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, New Balance, Skechers, and more. With over 800 stores, you're never far from the perfect gift. So make your list and make it famous. Come in today for buy one pair, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Aside from college athletics where they don't have to give injury information, I think the NHL is the worst at it. Just ambiguity for ambiguity's sake. This is Dean Evison. It's not his fault. This is just the way the NHL does it. On Werenski. Working through some stuff today, but expect him to skate tomorrow, so we'll see where he's at. Marchenko and Olivier seeing doctors. Okay, that's straightforward. Monahan, but he's dealing with some stuff as well. It's a maintenance day for him. Jenner and Gudbranson skating and progressing towards return. Everything's stuff. They're dealing with some stuff. Lower body, upper body. Like, it's always got to be in code.
I will say Frank Saravelli came out with a report that said the Blue Jackets were hopeful that Zach Werenski played tomorrow night against Toronto. So I do believe that's a little bit of good news, at least.
I'm hopeful, too. I think we all are. What do you have on the poll today, Reese?
Daily Fan Poll asks, sticking with this century, what is your favorite Ohio State-Michigan game? 52% say the 06 contest was their favorite. You got 16, 18, and then other for your options. About 4% say other. Snagglepuss chimes in at 2018. Paris Campbell's performance, his 78-yard touchdown run when he turns around and smiles, is an all-timer. 22% say 2016. 21% say 2018. Getting a couple for 2002. 2005 with not necessarily the injury, but the emergence of one James Laurinaitis is something the Buckeye fans will remember forever.
Yeah, 16's pretty great because they thought they had it. And that's the JT and Jim Harbaugh doing this, and that's Samuel on the walk-off. The JT fourth down play is just an all-time play, and it just adds to it. There's so many great ones. And for the longest time, they were all positive on our side of things. So we got to get that switched around this Saturday. Time for three things on a Tuesday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Scioto Downs. Your play, your perks, your Caesars Rewards spot.
All right, number one for me. So apparently, joggers are out, or they're headed out. So joggers have been in, and as far as I'm concerned, they still are, but they had been in for about a 4 or 5 year stretch. So then you'd see like the golf jogger, and you'd see this all the time, like people wearing joggers, like dress pants that have jogger bottoms, all of this. So this morning on the way to school, NBC informs me that joggers in the traditional sense are now out. And I said, well, why? Like all he wants now is like baggy, loose-fitting sweatpants is what he's going for. And I'm like, okay, like things change. There's catalysts for that, and style comes and style goes. And I said, well, what was the moment that it said, okay, now we got to wear the baggy ones? And he goes, I don't know. And I said, no, you're not in trouble. I don't care. I'm not going to punish you. I just am curious when it became we can't wear tight joggers anymore. Now everything has to be baggy. I don't know. No, I know it. But there had to be something. So out of the back, Beamsy's sitting in the back of the car the way to school this morning. He goes, people on Instagram, Dad. And I went, okay, fine. All right. So you've been warned. Your kids, if they're not there already, big, baggy, bulky joggers are what's coming, which is something that I wore like in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I'm not going to lie. They were always out with me. I was never a fan of them. So
God, I'd love you in a tight jogger. I think you'd thrive big.
I'm good.
One of our listeners, I bet, would like it too.
I'm not built for that.
I've gravitated towards less loose.
Of course, I wear shorts all the time anyway, I'm always in shorts.
Pants on you is the conversation we have to get to before we say how tight can the pants, or at least the bottoms of those pants are. I was turned on to a Twitter account. This was maybe a month ago. The name is 3 in the P Archive, and the handle is Panama Ted Helper. And so what this person who does the Lord's work has gone back and like chronicled every then Common Man and T-Bone, now every Common Man and Timmy. And he's got one that he tagged me in yesterday from 2021. Okay. I guess I was in with Man, or somehow I was in the conversation Wednesday of Thanksgiving week. Again, back in 2021, where I said gravy's overrated. And I don't remember saying it, but I will stand by that take because gravy shouldn't be your Thanksgiving meal. Like, if your food tastes good enough, gravy should just be a condiment. I don't need like corn, floating by me on a plate. If the food, like even the mashed potatoes, if you can get good garlicky, buttery mashed potatoes, just some gravy's all you need.
I had a kid. I did this in basketball last night. It's funny you say that for the fourth graders. I had them all give me their favorite Thanksgiving food or side. And one of my kids said gravy.
Yep.
And I said, well, what do you mean? And he goes, I said, like just on stuff? I go, like on, you put it on stuffing or turkey? And he goes, no. And I said, well, what do you just in a sippy cup, like out of a straw? Like, how do you consume the gravy? I'm confused.
A soup ladle.
Yeah. He said he ladled it. He just likes drinking gravy like a soup.
And I will agree with that, Reese. You don't need to put A1 on a good steak, so I'm all for that. Pretty cool yesterday. The Ohio State men's basketball team in action tonight. You can hear it right here on the Fan. 6:30 tip when they host Mount St. Mary's. Devin Royal. He's a Pickerington Central alum. He had the Pickerington Central basketball team over at the Shot during practice yesterday, and then afterwards he presented them with brand new jerseys, and they look pretty cool. The white jerseys have purple trim, a nice purple tiger print Paul right in the middle, and I thought the away jerseys looked really cool. They were all purple, but they had some black trim on them too. They looked really nice. Good job out of Devin Royal.
That's very cool of giving back to where it all started. Number 2 for me, I'm here now. It's been trending this way in a long time. I think Buck and Aikman are just the best announcing crew in football, and they're among the best in all of sport. And I don't know if it took the Manning cast or like being jettisoned from Fox or the Romo love or whatever, but they consistently provide the best NFL broadcast that there is.
Yeah, I've all but forgiven him for 2016 Joe Buck in the World Series. Like, they're the pinnacle of a broadcast booth.
They're really good.
The Mid-American Conference, and this might not appeal to anybody out there, has given out 16 championship game scenarios. To go back to our conversation earlier in the week and just how every single conference is wide open as of right now. The MAC's got 16 scenarios, and in their release, you have to get to scenario 8 before you get to the Ohio Bobcats in an appearance. All they really have to do is beat Buffalo Friday at noon and let the chips fall where they may.
Second thing for me, the college football rankings come out tonight at 7:30. If you would like to head over to the Fans YouTube channel, there will be a special college football rankings reaction show. I think Tito's going to be there. Bodie Wells will be there as well, and maybe a couple of friends will be making an appearance as well.
I didn't get the invite, I guess. Must not have.
I don't want to. You were on the email.
No, I didn't get it. I mean, I would be happy.
I'll send you the link.
But
you can join.
I probably wasn't invited.
I'll forward it to you.
Here's the.
They send it to your work email. That's what it is.
Here's your bonus 3 from all of us because we're up against it. Ryan Day up next with his press conference. You're officially endorsed. The officially endorsed comes tomorrow, which is the first Friday, of course. You have that to look forward to, which is nice. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Drop what you're doing unless you're doing nothing, then keep doing that. It's Rivalry Week.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealer.